It's time for the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games at Southern Utah University in Cedar City. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of a Utah sports tradition at utahsummergames.org. Participate in over 50 sports around the state. Then plan to join the opening ceremonies Friday, June 5th, presented by State Bank of Southern Utah. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games. Looking for music that lifts your spirit and fills your heart? Experience the powerful sound of the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square. Now streaming on all your favorite music platforms. Find the Tabernacle Choir on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Pandora. Let the music of the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square inspire you today and every day. Whether you're at home, in the car, or on the go, enjoy the beauty of their world-renowned sound anytime. The Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square, streaming now.
We're all locked in now.
Your home for the best sports radio in Utah is right here on the KSL Sports Zone. It's time to kick off your afternoon drive with Jake Scott and Ben Anderson.
Allow me to introduce the best of the best.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson. Welcome to the afternoon.
Hello. I haven't talked to you in the afternoon in some time.
Well, it's been a while. Usually it's just as soon as noon hits, I just stop
There's a
talking
no
to you.
contact order.
That's usually
from
how it
the
works.
company, from HR, that you and I were not supposed to talk to each other afternoon. And we had to be in several meetings about that. And then we had to break the rule.
Still have my coffee, though.
Yeah. A lot has changed. A lot has not changed.
A lot still will stay the same. So many thanks to everybody that supported us in the 10 to noon show. It was really successful. Yeah, we just appreciate, Ben, I told you when we started in the midday that the listener is a little bit different. It's the listener is usually a little more dedicated. Somebody who's on the run a lot for work and that sort of thing. And we want to say thank you to those listeners, and hopefully they move up in the schedule a little bit with us, and we can combine the show with a new audience and do some exciting things. And speaking of that, shout out to Alex and Jeremiah that both did a great job building an audience and building a show. Jeremiah obviously is still with us, still in the building, still with KSL Sports, doing his incredible work that he has done for many, many years.
As is Alex.
As is Alex, which we cannot really specify, but he's still in the building. In fact, we saw him half an hour ago.
Yeah.
Both of them will be celebrated on these airwaves and welcome anytime. So
absolutely,
those guys are still very much a part of the family, and we appreciate all the great work they did over the years. And in this space, we hope to do it justice. We hope to build on kind of what they were doing. So that's really the story. Super excited about it.
You've done this show before.
I have the 2 to 6, 2 to 7 shift.
When did you last do it?
Right before we started.
Okay.
So
2021?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I last did afternoons in August 2019. So it's been almost 7 years for me. It's been a while. But yes, I'm familiar with this format. You've done this format. You're obviously a radio pro, and very excited. And then we are thrilled to have Christian back, our producer, who has been with us for how long now, Christian?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. And you're just coming back from paternity leave.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I barely know what day of the week it is.
Well, that's the rest of your life, so congratulations.
It's Monday. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
Because I struggle with the days of the week, too.
Yep.
And usually I have it to jazz season to blame for it, but now I don't know what I'm going to do. Matt sent us a message on the Snap Talk, Ben, and it said, Jake complained about the camera so much they doubled his time in front of them.
Yes,
that's exactly what
right.
This is a punishment.
Be careful what you wish for.
I hate the cameras so much. They're like, hey, let's put you right in front of those for 2 more hours so I can scratch my dang nose in public for the 9,000th time.
Maddie is going to make you start an Instagram page if you're not careful.
Stop
You're going to
it.
be on TikTok.
I've never even heard of that.
Find Jake on TikTok.
No, I'm already on the Snap Talk.
Okay. All right. Anyway.
No, stop it. She's here too. She could be listening.
I know she's listening.
Stop that right now.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
They're social media ruining society. We don't need to dive into that. By the way, follow us on Jake and Ben Show on X or Twitter or whatever it's called.
It's at Jake and Ben KSL.
That's better.
Yeah. if you want to find us on social media, specifically X or Twitter, whatever you call it, at Jake and Ben KSL or at Ben's Hoops. What is your Twitter handle? You don't.
At Jake Scott Zone.
At Jake Scott Zone. Okay. We'll be here.
Sure. Yeah, we'll absolutely be here. It's great. We are very excited about it. We are super excited to add a couple of hours. I think it'll give us a little bit more room to do some things and more things that we already like to do. That 2 hours is it sounds like a lot, and it is honestly over a week's time. But as far as radio room to operate, it's not that.
There's a lot of stuff we did not get to talk about.
Yeah, right. That I'm excited that we're going to get a chance to really get to. Also, special shout out to my guy Tim Lacombe, who I'm very excited, who I've worked with for a long time. Very excited to have him on board with us here at the station. I think he and Scotty are going to do one heck of a show, and I get a chance to see him every single day, which I'm excited about.
100%.
So shout out to Tim.
Yep. And Scotty.
Well, yeah. Well, that goes without being said. Way to one-up me, Ben.
Okay.
Thanks a lot for that.
You're welcome.
It was it was a crazy sports weekend.
It was.
With the NBA playoffs kicked off. Your Lakers looked better than expected.
Kevin Durant didn't play. That helped.
And the Mammoth, of course, had their first ever playoff game down there in Vegas. It might hit a little different when they get back up here for Game 3, Ben. But as far as inaugural experiences go, it happened.
It did happen. And you know what? A solid first period. I don't think they played particularly well after that. They really did not play well at all in the third period. And I think we saw that. But I think not most importantly, they're in a series and they're trying to win the series and they're down 1-0. Now the home team has the advantage and that's fine. This is, I guess on track still. But I do think what was revealing is just the pace, the physicality, the size. The difference in the regular season and the playoffs in hockey is significant, and I think you saw it on full display last night. I think the Mammoth saw it for the first time clearly, and I think in a lot of ways they were taken aback a little bit. I think they were surprised at what played, and I think that was reflected on the ice.
Yeah, I certainly agree with that assessment. It's fun to learn more about this sport. Sometimes I feel insecure about what to criticize and what not, but I can tell you that to come out of the gate strong. When we get that first goal, you're never going to complain about that, right? I mean, being a fast starting team is never a bad thing, right? But sometimes it's tough to maintain all the way through.
Yep.
And what became perfect, because the goal number 2 was a fluke.
Absolutely.
That barely that
Stanley
counts as offense.
Allowed the Knights to score for him. Just great. He gets the credit. The goal went on the board, but no, that was not a designed play by any means.
So it's kind of hard to count that as an offensive strike, and then to kind of get ragdolled in the third period, and that's what it is. And I'm trying to connect to your point about the difference in playoff hockey. And I feel so insecure on this topic. I feel like I'm talking in cliches, but the physical nature of Vegas in particular, where they're allowed to. How many hits were there last night, Ben? I saw
52 by the Golden Knights.
I mean, they're letting them loose and letting them play, and it feels to me like Vegas is built for that. Now, the counter is supposed to be the speed, and I did not see the effectiveness of the speed from the Mammoth quite yet. And by the way, line numero uno, where are you?
Very poor.
They got scored on by what? Vegas's 4th unit?
Yeah. The 4th line was better than Utah. And
where are you?
That's a major issue. And look, yes, this is the size issue. And I remember when it was the Utah Hockey Club moving up here, and now the Mammoth. One of the big conversations about the team was Bill Armstrong is trying to go out there and draft a bunch of big players. And you look at some of the guys that they've got coming up, whether it's Cole Baudouin or whether it's Maverick Lamoureux, who was already in the system when they moved up here. Those are big dudes. Right now, this is not a very big team. Like, they were talking about how important it was to get Jack McBain back. Well, Jack McBain's a big dude. Krause is a big dude. They've got some big players. But across the line, like Keller going up against Mitch Marner or Jack Eichel, he's just not the same size. And Keller was non-existent last night. I mean, until very late in the third period, you kind of could get a sense of some urgency. And it's when I think the Mammoth were already down at least a goal, and maybe it was 2 goals, and they pulled Vamelka. That's when it felt like Keller came alive. That can't be the case anymore. He's just got to be better from the opening puck drop. And now I do think if there was a positive sign, is that Logan Cooley, who is going to be the best player on the Utah Mammoth over the next 3, 4, 5 years, absolutely answered the bell. And I mean physically, once they were fighting, once the whistle had been blown, getting the first goal of the series, I thought all of those things, A+ sign, really good. I thought Cooley stepped up. I don't think the moment was too big for him at all. Now everybody else has to play catch-up. He can't be the only guy who's ready to play.
Yeah, someone threatened to kill him, right?
The Dowd, who was bleeding in the third period, threatened to kill Cooley, which, with all due respect, is like Christian threatening to kill, I don't know.
Where are you going with this?
Well, Christian is a relative newcomer to this zone, and Cooley is a number 4 overall draft pick.
Okay.
And Dowd is a still establishing piece of the puzzle for the Vegas Golden Knights. And not particularly physically intimidating.
No?
Little guy.
So you're not worried he's going to follow through on his threat?
Go ahead and try. Go ahead and try and fight Cooley and watch. I don't care. Are they going to put Liam O'Brien on one of the fourth lines or in the fourth line coming up in the next game? Because Liam O'Brien's only job will be to hunt you and take your knees out. That will be his entire job if you go after Logan Cooley, which that is the fun part about hockey. You start to develop these relationships, and I do think that is important. I think you're going to get a fan base that starts to get more involved in this team because they start to recognize, not just the players they like, but the teams that they hate. And I do think that's that is a part of fandom.
Okay, we're going to do quick tease here. We're going to do rules of the show. Our show has some rules. If you're new to it, we have some stuff that we do, and we're going to try and introduce you to that as much as possible at 5:30.
5:30.
5:30 is when we're going to do that. I mean, obviously the show is going on. We won't put the rules on hold. Yeah. But if you want us to explain some stuff, we will do that at 5:30. And by the way, you can absorb us in a lot of ways. One of those is you can watch us on the YouTube or at KSLSports.com or on the KSL Sports app. There is a visual aid to the rule.
Coming up at 5:30?
At 5:30.
Okay.
There is a visual aid component to the rule presentation that I think people will enjoy.
I'm excited to see this because I haven't seen any of this.
It will help people understand the show a little bit better.
If you're driving home from work,
please
pull over and watch the show.
No, just pull it up right on your screen.
We're all safety all the time here. Pull it over.
Okay. Whatever.
Anywho, you're going to be. You're
going
to
tell
want
the cops you pulled over.
There is a visual aid, and you will. I hope people will enjoy it.
Okay.
So that's coming up at 5:30. But I bring that up because part of the rules include our great nicknames that we have so many, and I'm thinking of something in the neighborhood of Stevie Weeks for Logan Cooley, like maybe calling him Stevie, but it might be too much of a deep cut.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Mystery Alaska? The Russell Crowe movie?
I have not.
There's like a hockey trope, right?
Yeah,
the really young-looking but incredibly skilled player who's grown up on the ponds of Mystery Alaska and is only waiting to be discovered, right? It's kind of that thing. But he looks like a little kid in the movie. I mean, he looks like a 17-year-old kid.
As does Cooley.
That's what I'm saying. As does Cooley.
He's a
so
baby
he's screaming Stevie Weeks, and he's out there deaking and dunking. And I'm thinking to myself, super skilled, young-looking kid, Stevie Weeks.
I'm with it.
So anyway, I'm gonna play with that.
You're gonna work on it.
Because it might be way. Have people out there seen Mystery Alaska? If you're looking for a great hockey movie, it really is a great hockey movie. Little Richard's in it.
Okay, what's he doing?
He sings the national anthem.
Oh, okay. He's not on the team.
No, and then he sings "Oh Canada." Mike Myers makes a cameo. Hank Azaria is in it.
Okay.
Burt Reynolds.
All right. It's the who's who.
Yeah.
Yesteryear.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Mystery Alaska, pal. Stevie Weeks.
You're right, though. The top line, Keller -3 on the night, Schmaltz -3 on the night, Krause -2 on the night. Obviously, they get mixed up a little bit here and there. But, top line was not good enough, especially up against a superstar top line for Vegas. That's what Vegas has gone out and done. And not only do they have the talent and the skill, they have the size. And that's something the Mammoth don't have right now. And look, I don't want to get too big picture here, but you look down the line. We're talking about some of these prospects they have coming in. Tisha Ginla's not very big, and he's the top prospect on the team. And Caleb Desnoyers is not very big, and he's the top prospect on the team. You wonder now, if you are building this team going forward, what a reaction would be to a playoff run. And I think the obvious thing is going to be, regardless of whether they get past Vegas or not, got to get bigger. Got to get a lot bigger, got to get a lot more physical and a lot more size. And speed is great, but clearly it can be negated. And Vegas, by the third period, had totally figured out how to negate Utah's speed.
They've got to find a way to get Stevie Room to operate.
Okay. Stevie Weeks.
Yeah.
Also Logan Cooley. But yeah.
He got to play extra stretches there. They used him a lot.
Logan? Or Stevie?
Stevie.
Okay. No, again, Logan was by far the best player on the ice.
I think that will continue. I agree with you. It's the others. It's the top line that needs to step up and make it happen. But the size thing is, I'll be really curious to see how they adjust.
Yeah.
Because the Phoenix Suns, and again, we're kind of basketball-centric people, so it all comes back to these basketball comparisons to me. But the Steve Nash Phoenix Suns never won anything because they were not physical and they were not capable defensively to get through playoff basketball when it's officiated way different. I'm curious if a similar concept works in hockey, and if a roster adjustment to add some more size needs to continue going forward. But as of the here and now, do they have enough speed or whatever it's going to take? Because right now they're playing against what's that stupid team the Broad Street Bullies. Gordon always used to mention, because that's Vegas's game.
Yep, I think that's unfortunately for Utah. I think that's the playoffs game. I don't think that's just just Vegas.
Vegas is built for playoffs.
Vegas personifies it.
I was listening to Jay was on with DJ and PK today, and he was talking about how Vegas in particular is constructed for playoff hockey. And I would believe that, watching game number 1, certainly.
Yeah. But you look at the last 2 Stanley Cup Finals, and it was the Edmonton Oilers, who are more skill based, versus the Florida Panthers, and Florida just is huge and just physical and violent and mean in front of the net, and that's going to win. And over time, it's going to really wear you down. It's probably how Team USA won the gold this year at the Olympics over Canada, which is a more talented team, more skilled team. I would believe that this is a more talented Mammoth team than the Vegas Golden Knights. Maybe not at the top line, but as you get down the lines, I think that's very possible. But if Peterka can't handle the physicality, or Keller on your top line can't handle the physicality, at least doesn't know how to in their first playoff run, that's going to be a major issue. So I do think that's something to keep an eye on.
I'm seeing the replay. Cole Bagley tweeted it out of the threat. I think they should have him arrested.
You think so?
Like, what better way to thin out Vegas than start
arresting players?
Start having players arrested.
Along those lines, penalties from the first game. You did see that Sean Durzi got fined $5,000, which, first of all, love a minuscule fine. NBA should bring back $2,000 fines that just don't mean anything and don't dissuade you from doing anything, but it makes it look like you care. Sean Durzi fined $5,000 for his headbutt, which I was laughing when I saw the headbutt live in person. I liked that he didn't have his helmet on, headbutted another player with the helmet on. I thought that was great. And I'm excited to see more of this type of physical play. I think this is a fun brand of hockey to watch in the postseason. And as you mentioned, as we get to know this better as a sport locally, I thought last night was not a good performance from Utah, but a good example of what to expect.
All right, coming up right around the corner. So here's kind of a show layout. We're plucking our 2-hour show, and we're putting basically the first 2 hours are going to be very similar, and then we're going to construct the 4 and 5 o'clock hour going forward. Anchored by Live at 5, where we will get you the biggest story of the day, as well as the latest story of the day, just in time for you to jump into your car and drive home. We mentioned we're going to do rules of the show at 5:30. Cole Bagley is going to be on the show at 4:30. The band's been busy.
Okay. Jake is in a band, so Jake moonlights when he's not doing the day show and not doing Utah Jazz pre, half, and post, which is where you also know Jake from. Jake is in a band. Jake is the lead songwriter.
Mostly a writer.
And some producing.
Some producing.
But
I rarely step in.
You're not on the mic.
No. I'm mostly
not laying down any licks.
Like whatever Barry Gordy was. That's
okay.
That's basically. No, I guess Barry didn't write. I do more writing. I'm more Smokey.
Okay.
But Smokey sang.
And then we play some of their latest stuff. It's a total violation of payola. It's completely illegal, but we're bending the rules so Jake's band can get some airplay.
That's nice.
And are we going to have some music today?
Yeah, we've got new material.
New songs.
And we can just to set it up for a new audience, we can play a couple of snippets of
some throwbacks
of some of the old ones.
Some of your best of.
So that's coming up at 4 o'clock. We're doing a new-ish segment, but new to us. We're going to do the audio of all the best audio of the day. Could be anything. That's coming up at 3:50.
Okay.
Next is top 3 stories at KSLSports.com. So that's the layout for today. I would expect people to listen to all of it, but there's some appointment listening for you.
Yeah.
All right, stay tuned. Top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com is coming up next. It's Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Not only do these guys give you the best Jazz coverage in the market, they've got you covered with the Mammoth, the Cougars, the Utes, and the Aggies. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, now in the afternoon, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, 2 to 7, every single day. Well, we give everybody but Christian the day off on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Only during the off season.
Tough for a new father.
I don't know. Annapolis is right here. I don't know if he'll let me back on the Saturday show. He's been anchoring it while I was out.
Has Alex enjoyed the room, the elbow room? The airtime has been all about Alex. Does he have several new segments created around himself?
Yeah, talking about how much it's nicer without me, I guess.
So now you're going to have to fit back in.
Alex has kids, no kids. It's the no dad zone on Saturday mornings. There you go, Alex. Sorry, Christian, you're not allowed anymore.
It's nice, though, because speaking as a dad who is around on Saturday mornings doing stuff, I dialed into the Saturday show this weekend. So anyway, encourage everybody to do it. 10 to noon. I even caught the end of Real Golf Radio.
Okay.
With Brian and Bob. Let's get to the top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com. Brought to you by J. Brooks Jewelers. 2 locations to... that read has been gone for a long time. I just went back into autopilot mode from like 2023. J. Brooks Jewelers. Cherish your love with J. Brooks Jewelers. Explore their expertly crafted engagement rings made from the finest materials. J. Brooks Jewelers. All right, Christian, where do you want to start today?
Number 1, the Utah Jazz are awaiting the results of the proverbial coin toss.
So apparently this happened at 1 o'clock today. And this coin toss will determine whether or not the Jazz can fall no further than 8 in the lottery because they are tied with the Sacramento Kings with the 4th worst record in the NBA. If the Jazz win the coin toss, they can fall no further than 8, meaning they are guaranteed to hold on to their top 8 pick. If they lose the coin toss, a 0.6% chance exists for the Jazz to fall to 9, thus delivering the pick to the Oklahoma City Thunder, which if you own a tinfoil hat, a lot of people think that means if the Jazz lose this coin toss, they will be losing the pick. I am not of that opinion. Jazz having 99.4% chance of keeping the pick. So regardless of what happens today, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
It's not that big of a deal. I am a bit of a draft truther, but that would be pretty brazen. It would be pretty brazen to jump 4 teams. That means that the 4 teams from behind the Jazz have to jump up. So that means that not only would the Jazz be getting the shaft, but so would the other 6 teams or whatever.
Correct.
What it is, other 4 teams.
Yeah.
3 teams at the bottom. So that would be pretty. That would be pretty brazen.
Pretty brutal. Now, along those lines, it is worth noting that the coin toss actually does matter if neither the Jazz or the Kings win a lottery spot. So let's say 3 teams jump them, and they drop down to 7-8, which is possible.
Uh-huh.
Whoever wins the coin toss gets the higher of those selections. Right. So there is still a chance where this could determine whether the Jazz have the 7th pick or the 8th pick. And like last year, that did matter because, if the Jazz had dropped, now they couldn't have fallen to 6, but if this is a tiebreaker scenario, there was a big difference seemingly between Ace Bailey at 5 and Trey Johnson at 6.
They won the coin toss last year.
No, they weren't tied with anybody.
I thought they were. I thought they were tied with somebody and won. I thought it was the Wizards.
The Wizards had 18 wins because they had
won.
the buzzer beater on the last game of the season. And the Jazz finished with 17 wins. So there was no tiebreaker last year.
Well, what are we?
No, this has happened in the past. The Jazz have won tiebreakers in the past.
What are we waiting on? You said it happened at 1. What's the deal?
I don't know. Mark Stein reported that the Jazz, or that the entire league, first of all, they had to do 6 of them, but they did announce that this would be coming out later today. So before the end of our show, we will know the results of the tiebreaker. I just thought we would know it by now. I will note that last year they released the tiebreaker results at 3 o'clock our time.
What if full fake news Mark Stein's wrong?
You could be. maybe we're on the wrong day.
By the way, Mark's fine. I'm just joking around.
Jazz may have won a tiebreaker in a tie with their second pick, that they had a second first-round pick last year via the Washington Wizards. Or who did they have the pick from? Regardless, they traded up and ended up 19 at Walt Clayton for a guy who's no longer on the team. But that might have been a place where the Jazz were tied, and I think they lost one tiebreaker and won one because it was a three-way tie. So I think that is actually what happened.
Okay.
But they were not tied at the top of the draft.
Okay. That makes sense.
But there are 6 ties today that the NBA was breaking. The Jazz, though, have the highest pick that's being tie broken.
That's a lot of flipping.
It's a lot, yeah. And apparently it's not a coin toss. It's just a machine or something.
Mm-hmm, of course.
So they can rig it however they want.
So they can do whatever they want. I do love that they show some media members the kind of process, but it still is just a machine. And they come out going, it's legit.
It's on the desktop.
I saw it with my own eyes. It's legit.
Well, I walked in, and that's what Adam Silver had pulled up, and he just said that this was the results. It was on a Google Doc.
I saw the doc.
1 through 15. And that's the lottery order. He's what he said. But I was behind the scenes, and you didn't see it.
Okay, all I'm going to say is that, so people know in Vegas, when it comes to poker machines and what am I looking at? Slot machines, that sort of thing, or video poker, it's a heavily regulated thing.
Yeah.
They have to look into it. The returns have to be, I think it's 98%.
Yeah, it's really high.
It's higher than you would think.
Yeah.
They only get to make 2% or something like that. But there is a group of people
Like that?
whose job it is to keep an eye on that. There's no such thing, no such oversight over the NBA.
Correct.
No such oversight at all. We'll show you the video. We'll show you.
We'll release it
pops
later.
on the screen for you. Huh?
Hold up today's newspaper and do that, Adam. I want to know if this actually happened.
Why do you have 6 fingers?
Yeah, what's going on?
Is it AI?
Yeah. Why did your tie change color midway through the video, Adam? Okay.
It's just too many coincidences.
Yeah. So we will get you updated as soon as we hear that, but I would imagine it's coming in the next couple of hours.
Well, have Austin Ainge text you.
Okay. Austin, if you're listening, text me.
Well, he's obviously listening, Ben, but you gotta text him. Say, give us.
That's more pressure if I say it on the radio than if I text him. He can ignore a text.
Give it a heads up.
He's ignored a lot of my texts. No, that's not true.
Oh, somebody! Way to go! This is cool. Chewbacca on the Talk Snap just did a cartoon graphic for us.
Mm-hmm. Look at how good you look. You look like John Gruden.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I do. It makes my chin look strong.
Yeah. You look like you could.
Look at that strong chin. Do I have a strong chin like that?
No.
Man, I'm gonna get I'm gonna get the cleft put in.
You gonna do the implant? You gonna go do the Tom Brady?
I look amazing.
You do.
He
look
did
better.
add about 15 pounds to Ben.
Well, somebody's got to add. Please. We've been trying to feed Ben for years now, and the camera just makes him look thinner.
Ben looks jacked in this picture.
I am jacked. I've been walking
Ben,
more.
the show's on video now. I've been walking more. Oh, okay, I don't even remember. Oh, the coin toss. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Number 2, you already hit the NHL playoffs, but the NBA playoffs opened over the weekend.
Only one road team wins, and it was the team that everybody had dead to rights in the play-in tournament. Nobody thought the Orlando Magic were going to get out of the play-in tournament.
Our Magic.
Our Magic.
Are we back? You and I
we're-
both had them picked to the conference dang finals. And I was telling you on Friday I wasn't buying Detroit.
I'm not totally out on Detroit yet. It was a bad sign that Cade played like an MVP, had 39 points, and they lost this game, 112-101.
They need offense. They just don't have the half-court specific offense.
Trailed wire to wire. They did tie it up midway through the third at 65, and they just had no answer. And yeah, we talked about this. Did you need to go out and get Michael Porter Jr.? There was a reason why Lauri Markkanen's name was thrown around with Detroit a whole lot. They need another guy. They need a dude, not just another he can go out there and hit 2 threes and score 12 points. No, they need a 20-point-per-game scorer. And I actually don't mind a team that says, I know we have the number 1 seed. We don't think we've arrived. We're going to keep our powder dry until the right opportunity presents itself. But you got to be careful. You don't win the number 1 seed every year accidentally. And they won the number 1 seed this year. And you want to make sure that you play the hand that you're dealt. And they're dealt home court advantage throughout the playoffs until they get to the finals. And that would mean a lot to get to the finals with this team. And you can't do it if you're losing to the Orlando Magic in the opening round, because you don't have enough guys on your team. You don't have enough stars, and they may find themselves in that spot. And to Orlando's credit, they've finally gotten healthy. And when the game slows down, not unlike hockey, having big physical dudes really helps. And while Detroit is physical, Paolo Banchero is huge. And Franz Wagner is huge. And Anthony Black is huge. Like, they've got some really big physical players. Jalen Suggs is really physical up and down their lineup. And it exposed Detroit as not having the type of star talent you need.
But it's the reason that you and I liked Orlando.
Absolutely.
And have liked Orlando. They're just a constant disappointment. But did they figure out the secret sauce? I didn't think they'd beat Charlotte. And, hey, man, I thought LaMelo Ball was going to win a game for the first time in his career. And, boy, did that really burn me. Shame on me. I'm back on the Magic. I don't know if they take down the Pistons, but there's a reason to like Paolo Banchero. There's a lot of reasons to like Franz Wagner, and then the rest of the team. We talked about this, Ben. They drafted these prototypical big long two-way guys, and Anthony Black's really good.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of lottery picks on this team. Franz Wagner, I think, was 8. Paolo was number 1. Anthony Black was number 8. They've got a bunch of top 10 guys on their roster. No question about it. That's a good team.
We'll see. The other one, Ben, that stood out that was unlikely. Your Lakers beat the Houston Rockets. Kevin Durant did not play. He's got a knee.
He's got a deep bone bruise in his knee, which seems scary.
Well, it certainly leaves the door open for old LeBron.
Did you look at the box score of this game?
Uh-huh.
The box score is one of the strangest things I've ever seen. Let me try and pull it up really quickly. The Rockets, I think, took 26 more shots than the Lakers. I think the Lakers took 66 shots. Jake, You do every Jazz pre-half and post-game show. What is it, like 93 shots on average? Teams get something around there, 90 shots?
66 is unheard of.
Insanely low. And what did Houston shoot? Like
93.
93. And the free throws, I think, are even. It wasn't like, the refs just let LeBron go shoot 30 free throws.
Oh, man, 25 and 26.
Yeah, I've never seen that lopsided of a math equation still favor the team that won.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Houston absolutely should have won that game by 15, 20 points with all their offensive rebounds, and they could not find a way to do it. But without Kevin Durant, and this is kind of the flaw with KD, as great as he is, you turn into a team where you kind of just sit and watch him. You just kind of let him do his thing, and everyone just says, like, well, we'll wait till he does his thing, and then we'll try and fill in the gaps around him. And when he's not out there suddenly, Houston has no idea what to do offensively. It was a mess.
Yes, it was. Maybe this is an audio vault candidate. Did you hear LeBron after the game talking about the great joy of his life it was to play in a playoff game with his son?
Grandma was there.
Which I thought, I guess we could dissect this later, but I thought it was nice, but then he submarined it at the end.
Okay.
So maybe we'll tease that for an audio vault at some time.
Tonight's games, Raptors at Cavs. Cavs have a 1-0 lead there. Hawks at Knicks. Knicks have a 1-0 lead there. And Timberwolves at Nuggets. Timberwolves actually played a very good first half and then fell apart in the third quarter.
Nuggets, the Hawks were crazy disappointing.
Yeah. Knicks are good. I know you don't believe it, but the Knicks are good.
They are not. Incorrect. Old Jalen likes to dribble.
Yes, he does.
I watched a big chunk of that game, and I had to fight getting up to vomit.
Well, you're betting on Quinn Snyder playoff adjustments, so good luck with that.
We just got to make them.
I bet he will.
Do you?
No, I don't. No, I watched it a few times here.
What's next?
Number 3, first playoff game ever for the Utah Mammoth. They lose at Vegas 4-2.
I think it's safe to say it looked like the first playoff game ever for the Utah Mammoth. And that doesn't let you off the hook. You're at the playoffs. Like I said, play the hand that you're dealt. You're here now. You've got to adjust. You've got to play better. They did not play particularly well in this game at all.
No, it's cool to see them get their first goal. Second one was a bit of a fluke. Vegas really pushed them around in the third period. That's the biggest story of the game to me is what are you going to do to adjust to that? Because I don't think they're going to grow.
No,
so,
they're not going to put a bunch of steroids in their arm.
Speaking of Quinn Snyder's adjustments, I mean, what's the hockey equivalent of the backpack defense? I mean,
you've got to find a way to utilize your speed. You have to find a way to, whether it's longer passes, sharper passes. I mean, that's how you have to move around bigger, slower teams. It's not unlike basketball. You've got to move the puck more quickly. You've got to move your feet more quickly. And when you do have a lead, which they had after the first and second period, you can't start playing on your heels.
Christian, you missed my bit last week where I advocated that the team should be staying in Cedar City for these road games.
Too much fun.
Why
in
not
Vegas.
St. George?
St. George is still too lively a town.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a really lively town.
Too much
but
pickleball?
It's enough lively that you just keep bumping up the road 45 minutes to Cedar and you're good to go. I mean,
There's a new skate park in town, I think, in St. George. Yeah, there's just too much fun to be had.
what was the number one thing to do on a Friday night in Cedar City for a young man who was at SUU?
Well, go on a hike, go to the
No,
drive-in.
no, at night, not a hike. Like you and your buddies maybe.
Oh, sheep tunnels. Remember I was telling you about the sheep
that's
tunnels. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the speed
Lose
that they
Stevie
need
Weeks
to be.
in the tunnels.
Right.
The sheep tunnels.
No, because if you stay at like the Aria or something,
Right. You can stay up all night.
I've stayed
Bottomless
up
trouble.
later than I should have
Yeah.
when in Las Vegas.
I thought Cooley played well. I thought Gunther played well. I know Gunther didn't score. I thought he had a lot of opportunistic shots that usually he puts in. Now, maybe he didn't play well because he didn't put them in. I think the fact that those are probably going to be the Mammoth's two best players going forward is a good sign, but they can't win this series if Keller and Schmaltz and Krause don't play better on the top line.
Stay tuned. We will have more coming up next. Jake and Ben, of course, will talk a lot of Mammoth throughout the show. Cole Bagley is going to be on with us at some point. We're now moving it
It's a
around.
standing invitation for Cole.
Cole is also in Vegas.
Yeah.
So Lord knows what he's doing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's on a heater. When the heater ends, he'll jump on the show. Or he's trying to get his house back. It's one or the other.
Oh, there's more possibilities. Can't pry himself from away from other activities. But we will land Cole Bagley. Big interview for the first show. We'll land it. We'll park it somewhere. But we'll continue to talk Mammoth. We'll talk more NBA playoffs. We've got a music segment at the top of the 4 o'clock hour as well. Stay tuned. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All systems go. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson. Now, every day from 2 to 6 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We're teaming up with Beehive Meals, honoring people that impact youth sports in our communities. Nominate the youth sports volunteer for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week at kslsports.com/contest. And listen every Thursday to the Jake and Ben Show for the winner. It's the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. In fact, we've got a bunch of exciting stuff coming up with Beehive Meals.
Yeah.
In fact, I heard a rumor that a live show could be on the horizon. So I'm actually super stoked to see their
Jake's cooking for me.
to see their operation. So anyway, nominate at kslsports.com/contest. Ben, breaking news coming out of Logan. Bronco Mendenhall announcing, or it being announced, that McCae Hillstead will be the starting quarterback in Logan.
Was this a surprise?
No.
No, he transferred back from BYU, started his career at Utah State, transferred to BYU and was the backup. We thought he was in competition for that job, and obviously Bear stepped up at BYU and was terrific last season. And he transfers back to Utah State and goes into a lineup and a schedule this year that, is this fair to say it's the best schedule Utah State's ever played? They go into this new...
I think the league is better.
Pac-12.
They trim some of the fat, yeah.
Here's the non-conference at Washington, at Utah. Now, they've had some
That's a money game.
monolithic... Yeah, money games historically. But that's very tough on the road. Idaho State's how they open the season. They play Troy. They go at Boise State, home against Washington State, at Texas State, home against Colorado State, home against Fresno State, at SDSU, at Oregon State, and then they close the season, I believe, on the 28th. But I think McCae Hillstead is this caliber of player to play against this quality of opponent and teams. And I'm a believer in Bronco Mendenhall. I think he's the right guy for this Utah State job, and he knows how to get a lot out of guys like McCae Hillstead.
But, no offense, but what have we seen from McCae Hillstead? I don't know if this is going to work. He got beat out by a freshman.
And now the freshman turned out to be one of the best freshman quarterbacks that we've ever seen.
I got it. But he got beat out by a freshman.
He did.
So I don't know. I think he played well at times his freshman year at Utah State. It's going to be a different animal. I don't know.
A reminder, 60% completion percentage, just a hair under. 1,000 yards, 1,062. 11 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
I thought he was
pretty decent with his legs.
I thought he was pretty good his freshman year.
Yeah.
That's why I said during that whole process, he should be the one getting that job.
Yeah.
And he did not. So what does that say? But, I think Bronco is trying to build a system in a systemless world, which I actually think is smart to zig when everybody else is zagging and say, yeah, we might not be flush with cash, but you're going to be a better person and for coming to Utah State. And they're selling something different. And so we'll see how it goes.
I suspect there were worse options out there than McCae Hillstead.
Oh, I would agree with that.
Somebody who's
sure.
familiar with the school, certainly familiar with the state. I think Bronco's going to be familiar with his game somewhat. Obviously, hasn't coached him before, but will come in here and have some fair expectations.
Ben, there was like 3,000 people in the basketball portal. Imagine what the football portal was like. Yeah, there's plenty of worse players out there.
So this is, and nice to name it now. I get that they've had spring football and that process is ongoing and you're wrapping some things up, but nice to have this going into the summer and not have a major question mark. And I suspect this was the conversation when he was discussing transferring away from BYU and coming back, quote unquote, home to Utah State. There had to be a very realistic chance that he was going to win the starting job. Otherwise, I think he would have stayed somewhere else if he was going to be a backup.
Wait. You're saying that before a quarterback transferred, they were assured
promised something?
A starting role? No, Ben, no.
That wouldn't happen.
No, I'm told that players are only told they're going to come in and have a chance to compete. That's it.
Bronco might do that. Bronco might make you earn it. But even Bronco's probably smart enough to say, you're getting
Well,
the
if you're
job.
a quarterback, why would you go somewhere unless you were given assurances?
Unless you knew
I've
you
been
were gonna
saying
have
this for years.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, whether the coaches are lying.
Now, why did
when they're
McCae transfer to BYU then? He didn't win a starting job ever.
Well, that was more of a step-up kind of thing.
Sure.
But, yeah, I hear you. So there you go. McCae Hillstead, your next quarterback of the Aggies. Scoop Scott Girard. Take that, Scotty G.
Utah State Insider. Again, start the season on September 5th against Idaho State. A little bit of a soft landing, and then right into the fire at Washington at Utah.
Should be a fun. I like this new league. You and I talked about for years that the Mountain West should just absorb the Pac-12. Well, it turns out that it worked the other way around. But still, an interesting league comes out the other side. I have no idea why UNLV would want to stay with the Mountain West. That seems ridiculous. They seem to fit way better, I would say, with the Pac-12, but whatever.
And no knock on Texas State or Fresno State or San Diego State, but, in the past, any combination of Boise State, and I know Boise State's been around, Washington State, and Oregon State would have been a good non-conference schedule for Utah State a decade ago. And now you're getting them in addition to Washington and Utah. So this is a fun schedule. I'm with you.
Stay tuned. We have an action-packed 3 o'clock hour coming up. We'll have the audio vault at 3:50, a new segment. Stay tuned. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Your home for the best sports radio for your afternoon drive is right here. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson. Now 2 to 6. Kind of 2 to 7. So make sure you tune in each and every day. You know what's going to be weird is getting used to new television on in the background with no sound.
Correct. We're going to have to drop one of our bits.
Well, it won't come up nearly as much. We used to have Pat McAfee on silent every day because the TV just happened to be on that. And I started calling him Armpit because he only wore
sleeveless
tank tops.
Yeah.
On television, if you could imagine such a thing. And I always thought there's some TV executive somewhere screaming at his TV to get that armpit off my screen. And then there was some internal turmoil at ESPN, and he started wearing shirts. Anyway.
He got the guy fired, but the trade-off was he had to wear
a shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that? Was that the skipper guy?
Yeah, I think so. Can I tell you what my thought was? Ryan Smith should make Armpit go sit in for the Jazz at the draft lottery.
Why?
A, they're buddies, like Ryan was just on his show. Because you want Ryan to draw, or you want Armpit, Pat McAfee, to draw a bunch of attention to the Utah Jazz in this situation. So if something happens and they get hurt, he's going to be outraged about it because his whole job is kind of being loud. He's good at his job. He's just very explosive. He's kind of walking dynamite. You put him there, He's the most important person on the stage. He's the most famous person on the stage. Not the wealthiest, but the most famous. And he's going to make us think about it. If you win number one, you win number one, and he's going to go crazy, and it's going to go super viral. And if he loses, it's going to go super viral. And I think Ryan can draw positive attention towards the Jazz, win or lose.
I think it's an interesting idea, but I think it would be, if we were going for laughs, I think it would be better to, who's the dim former player that he has on just to sit there and look dim?
Oh, AJ?
So, again, Ben and I have never heard this show. We just have watched
Correct.
it a bunch of times. And so we just see the people on the show.
Yeah, I don't know what their voices
I have
sound
no
like.
idea.
Yeah.
But I do know that AJ Hawk, for some reason, can't be in the same place at the same time. I don't know why that is, but that's a thing. And 90% of his role is to sit there on the show and say nothing and look dim.
And he's always on. They always do a
constantly,
split screen.
and he just is looking
Got a
like
half smile.
he's got nothing to say.
Well,
So I got to think you put that up there for the lottery.
Okay.
And then he's not, he's going to give you that same deadpan dim look no matter what happens. You know what I mean? Good or bad. It's just going to be.
AJ DeBonsa, the number one pick.
Wait, where am I? Huh?
Hawk, are you listening?
The team from Utah? Yeah. I think that
Okay.
might be the way I'd go. I think that'd be kind of funny.
Okay.
Who is he, though? Who are they going to send to the lottery? Do we know?
I know Ryan was on earlier today with Scotty and Tim. Did they say who they were sending yet? He wouldn't reveal. All right.
Can't go wrong with Mike.
Last year he did reveal when he sent his wife.
Yeah, it was
he did
actually-
reveal it with Scotty.
I wonder if she'd sign up for that again.
Losing stinks.
Yeah. But it might be one of those been there, done that kind of things.
Yeah, once you do it,
Yeah.
you need to go back.
Do you really need to go do it again?
Yeah.
I mean, do we need to look further than Mike Smith?
Okay.
I always say you can't go wrong with Big T, but he's also done it before.
He's done it. Yeah. Has Booner done it?
No, I don't think Booner's done it. Booner would be awesome.
Yeah.
Locke? Is that the foot forward you want to put as a franchise?
Ron would be great. No, that's not. That's not
Ron would be awesome.
Yeah, Ron would be great. Yeah, I love Ron.
So I don't know. Austin Age is new. Maybe he goes.
Yeah.
Send
Austin would
Jaren
be good.
Jackson Jr.
Send
or
Danny.
Ace.
Oh, you can't go wrong with sending a player.
I do think former player is good. Yeah, I like that
Or a
too.
current player. Like Ace would be great,
Yeah.
Was a lottery pick last
Somebody
year.
who will for sure be here next
Send
year.
Yeah,
Walker.
right.
Make Walker feel good. He doesn't know what his contract's going to be. They can put it in a couple of hours to earn it.
How's Nurk?
Send Svi.
Oh, it's VHC.
He's got a hot hand. I like Nurk.
Yeah.
Kevin Love.
But see, they're not guaranteed to be on the team.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I
But
think you do
Nurk
it.
has a new beak and is looking awesome.
Is that Yusuf Nurkic? Who is that
That
guy?
was Clark Gable.
Clark Kent?
No, we'll have to find out what they're going to do. But first, we're still waiting on that coin toss. No,
Whoa! Coin toss coming down right now.
is it really?
The Utah Jazz have won the tiebreaker with the Sacramento Kings.
Wow.
They are guaranteed to hold on to this year's draft pick.
How about that? Breaking news.
Just came down.
So the Jazz, actually win something. Win a coin toss with the Kings, and of course it's the Kings that they beat.
Poor Kings.
I mean, hard luck Kings. They thought they were going to be a playoff team before the season began.
We're buyers, I think, at the trade deadline. Are you?
Well,
Sell the team.
they couldn't pay a team enough to take Zach LaVine.
And DeMar DeRozan.
I think
And they
DeMar.
can't get rid of Sabonis. They like him, but they also want to get rid of him.
Oh, I think they want to get rid of everybody now.
Here's the communications from the NBA. Sorry, this is just coming out live. It says the Utah Jazz, 22-60, won a tiebreaker with the Kings, so the Jazz can fall no further than 8. So you can put to rest the lottery speculation that the Jazz are going to fall past 9. In all honesty, Jake, this is all that matters. Like, win the lottery, great. Go get Darren Peterson or Cam Boozer or AJ DeBonsa. They're monsters. They're going to be awesome players in the NBA.
No, they just didn't want to lose.
You cannot afford to lose the pick. You have tanked 4 years to add top 10 picks to your roster. Taylor Hendricks is not on the team anymore. Cody Williams is going to be fighting like hell to be in the rotation next year. Ace is a dude. Ace is a guy for sure. And now you need to add one more guy to try and get into this conversation. But it's Jaren Jackson Jr., it's Lauri Markkanen, it's Keontae George, it's probably Walker Kessler, almost surely Walker Kessler, and then and Ace Bailey, and then whoever you get now. Like, you just had to get another top 8 pick. And maybe you trade the pick. I don't think they're going to. But if you lost it, on the very, very slim chance you lost it, it would have been a disaster, at least for this year. And these are the dudes going forward. Now you get to sprinkle in one other piece. It's a major, major positive for the Jazz.
Flip that pick for Vooch, and you've got yourself a stew going.
Okay. You're a big Vooch guy.
Just bring in Vooch. Let Walker go.
Wow. Hot take.
Trade
Because you could have both.
Trade for Vooch.
You could just have
who
both.
I don't think is under contract next year, but you still just make sure you get him. Trade for him.
Okay.
And that's the missing piece.
Yeah, okay.
Sign Nurk again. Have a Vooch-Nurk back front court duo.
All right.
Bring Jaren Jackson Jr. off the bench.
Okay. You're thinking outside the box. New Jake. New show, new Jake.
I know.
So here's what it means for the Utah Jazz in the lottery. Again, the most important thing, they have a 0% chance of falling to the 9th pick, meaning the Jazz are guaranteed to hold on to this year's lottery pick. Put it to bed. Jazz are adding a lottery pick. You don't have to worry about it on lottery night. They still split the lottery odds with the Sacramento Kings.
Right, but they can't drop down to 9.
But they can't drop down to 9. So the Jazz have an 11.5% chance of drafting number 1 overall, an 11.4% chance of drafting number 2 overall, 11.2 at 3, an 11.0% chance of drafting 4th, 7.5% chance of drafting 5th, 27.1% chance of drafting 6th, the most likely outcome, a 17.9% chance of drafting 7th, and a 2.4% chance of drafting 8th. So they have a 97.5% chance of drafting top 7 and about a 45-ish% chance of drafting top 4.
7 it is. That's what they're going to get.
Dial it up.
That's what they're going to get. Mark my words.
Sure.
Right here,
it's
right
the
now.
most likely outcome.
They're getting 7.
You know, I know there was a lot of talk last year of could the Jazz win? And it was like, well,
Nope.
50% chance they're drafting 5th. So where are they drafting? Got to be 5th.
Number 5.
Most likely outcome.
Number 7.
Yeah.
Does the North Carolina guy fall that far?
Caleb Wilson. I don't think so.
What about that? Stiff who was in the finals? The guy Mick Cronin chased off.
Mara?
Yeah.
He honestly could be in the conversation at 7 or 8. I don't think he's going to climb up that high, but that's where you're starting to get. No, you're talking if the Jazz were. I mean, here's the top 8 or 9. You're talking A.J. DeBonta, Darren Peterson, Cam Boozer, Caleb Wilson, Keaton Wagler, Kingston Flemings, Darius Acuff, and then it starts to get into, yes, Yoxel Lindeborg, Braden Burries, Mara, who you were just talking about. It opens up a little bit.
No on Acuff.
Okay, little guy who doesn't play defense.
Little guy who dribbles. No.
Kennedy Chandler.
Yeah.
You
no
got him
thanks.
already.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of with you there.
Some sap's going to take Acuff, though.
Oh, yeah.
Ahead of 7.
You know who's going to take him? They just lost a tiebreaker with the Utah Jazz.
Oh, the Kings?
The Kings cannot wait to get Darius Acuff.
Do you think he falls that far?
If they're drafting at 5, yeah.
No, I was thinking of the scenario that the Kings would be at 8.
No, Kings
If
are
the
going to
Jazz
trade up.
fall-
Kings are going to reach.
Trade up for Acuff.
We'll give you Sabonis and the 5th pick.
You know, as
Move up to 3.
as the league cannot get out, like the Hawks could get nothing for Trae Young. The Memphis Grizzlies could get nothing for Ja Morant. The Kings trade up for Acuff. That's okay. that absolutely could happen.
Got to have him.
And all of a sudden they're back in business.
Back in something. Back in the lottery.
Not enough that they drafted Tyrese Halliburton and Fox and then booted on both of them.
Both of them.
Now go to Acuff.
Oh, it makes my stomach hurt.
Well, the Halliburton was. I don't know about the Aaron Fox.
He's still a player, you know.
Headache is what he is.
He's
It's someone getting minutes instead of their number 2 pick in the
giving
draft.
up on Tyrese Halliburton. And 2 years in favor of De'Aaron Fox, and 2 years later not having either of them is a brutal one. So
Do people know the backstory of that? So it was the Indiana Sacramento trade where they swapped basically Sabonis for Halliburton, and
Yeah.
there was more in the trade, but that was the
That was the
basics
trade.
of it, right?
Yeah.
So this just tells you what a well-run franchise does as opposed to a not well-run franchise. Indiana said, yeah, we'd love to do it. You've got 2 point guards, and you want to trade us Fox. How about we take Halliburton instead, and you've got yourself a deal? And the Kings said, you got it. You got it. Deal.
We got to get rid of one of them. You picked the better player.
And listen, I like Sabonis, and it actually kind of worked for him in the short term. But Halliburton's like a top 5 player when he's healthy.
Best player on the finals team.
He just dragged the team to the finals for sure. Like he is really good when he plays.
And the problem is when you have De'Aaron Fox, what else do you have? Adele. Not to step on the rules of our show that we're going to announce coming up.
Hello.
We'll get to that later. But yeah, she's calling you every other day.
You get clutch. And here's the problem. Here's honestly the problem, exactly what you're saying. Because I talked to some people in the NBA who know. And they said, Ben, De'Aaron Fox was placed in San Antonio by Clutch 2 years before the trade happened. Which is right around the time the Tyrese Halliburton trade happened. Meaning, as soon as that move went down, Clutch, Adele, started calling all around saying, where do we get our guy? Where can I put our guy? They saw Wemby as the number 1 overall draft pick. They said, right there.
Right there.
We'll hide De'Aaron Fox next to Victor Wembanyama. All of his flaws will disappear. It's going to be amazing. He's going to be on a team that's competing in the conference finals every year. This is going to be awesome. And the Kings had no idea. But apparently, including the people I talked to, who are actually not members of the Sacramento Kings, knew about it.
Everyone knew.
Everyone knew. And they still traded Tyrese.
Because they got calls from Adele.
Yeah. Well, the power.
Hello.
Please take De'Aaron Fox. He's lost in Sacramento.
What's crazy is this ends. We were just talking about, the Jazz finishing the season, the last game of the season against the Los Angeles Lakers, and that kind of being the end of this tanking era, this run for the Jazz. Really what this does is by holding on to the pick, you're done. This Derek Favors trade is officially paid off. It doesn't turn into future second-round draft picks. It's totally forgiven. The Jazz essentially, now if you can ignore that the Oklahoma City Thunder won a title, and they're about to win another title, and they have the best player in basketball who's going to win a second MVP coming up the next 2 weeks. If you ignore all that, and the fact that Jazz have like 100 wins in the last 4 years, I think the Jazz won this trade. If you ignore all that stuff, the Jazz came out on top pretty smooth here. Maybe I'm doing my math wrong. But the Jazz can say, hey, we traded Derek Favors' contract for nothing. We got off the contract and didn't include a pick at all. And that's a win for the Jazz. Now, was it? We'll see if this draft pick turns into anything.
Have you ever heard the argument or the rationale behind indentured servitude?
No.
It's basically what you just described. We'll pay for you to get here from Europe, but then you're going to be ours for the next 6 years.
Yeah.
And then we'll let you go with a thank you very much and a smile.
No, while the Jazz can look at this as a major win.
Won the trade.
And it is. If they had lost this pick to the Thunder, it would have been not devastating. They would have moved on and been just fine. But it would have been a real blow.
But it never should have been there in the first place. The truth is that Dennis Lindsey had a miscalculation over what the next piece had to be to get the Jazz over the hump. It was wrong.
Yeah.
And then in order to get over that wrong decision, they had to bite the bullet. And 4 years of indentured servitude does not justify the move.
I think that's totally fair.
And it's not the trade; it's the signing in the first place. Just not reading your roster.
Yeah.
So.
And again, yes, this goes back to the Jazz's desire to have 48 minutes of big shot blockers on the floor at all times.
Trying to duplicate Rudy.
And weren't able to do it, and overpaid Derek Favors. And then had to trade him and trade a very valuable piece to get off it. And while the Jazz never actually ended up trading the piece, as you're mentioning with indentured servitude, which might be a little bit of a stretch compared to professional basketball, they sacrificed 4 years of winning just to hold on to this pick. And it's been really painful. This has been a really brutal stretch for the Utah Jazz, more brutal than their previous rebuilds.
Different, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We'll see if this is more effective. Because that's the idea, right? More effective.
That's the goal. And if you end up getting the number 1 overall pick this year, now, getting the number 1 overall pick, you would have kept it anyways by holding on to the pick because the pick was only top 8 protected. The Jazz would have been fine regardless. But if the Jazz end up with a very good draft pick here or a good player, it will feel like this tanking was worth it. And maybe it will pay off. It's paying off for the Thunder. They tanked. They got good players. They're winning championships now. The Spurs tanked, paid off. They got Victor Wembanyama. They're competing for championships. The Jazz could put themselves in that conversation, and I think this will be not easily forgotten, but viewed more favorably than it has while fans were going through it.
Hey, our new teammate and friend Tim Lacombe tweeted a response to that picture that Chewbacca created for us, which is awesome. And I said that I tweeted out and I said my chin looked really good. Tim said, "Chin of a movie star."
I think you look like John Gruden.
He's not a movie star.
He's been in hasn't he been like in an Adam Sandler movie or something?
Oh, who cares about that? Who hasn't been in it? I think Christian's been in an Adam. No
He's
offense,
in the next
Christian.
one that's coming out. Yeah.
No, that was Bad Bunny.
Oh, we miss you guys up. Yeah, it was easy to mess you up.
Happy Gilmore 3, the Live Tour. Christian's in it.
John Gruden's in Draft Day.
Oh, the terrible Kevin Costner. I never
Which,
saw that.
by the way, we should watch it. We should host a viewing because the draft is this week. Starts Thursday night, round 1. We should watch Draft Day before that. Just really prime the engine. Get ready for it.
Kind of funny that the Browns were the vehicle for that. The Browns that have never done anything right either supposedly had a savvy GM.
A really savvy GM. Pulled off the perfect draft day trades. Multiple trades.
Yeah, old John Dunbar. Nothing?
Is that who it was?
John Dunbar? No. But it's Kevin Costner's name in a different movie.
What movie?
Dances with Wolves,
Oh, is that
man.
his
Where
name?
are you at? John Dunbar.
I've only seen it once. His name is John Dunbar?
Yeah.
That's pretty boring.
He's trying to teach them how to say it. Like John Dunbar. I know. You only saw that movie once?
Tatanka. Yeah.
That's a good film.
Yeah, won Best Picture.
It was Kevin at the top of his thing, I'd say.
It was absolutely Kevin Costner saying, "I'm going to make the biggest movie of all time, and I know the best man for the job."
You're looking at him. Yeah, he pulled a Doc Rivers. He did.
I'm going to direct it. I think I'm also going to star in it, and it's going to be about me, and it's going to be about me saving these people. But it is a good movie. I'm with you.
3,000 Miles to Graceland was not.
Never saw it. Does he play Elvis?
You would probably like it.
Does he play Elvis?
It's about Elvis impersonators that are robbing like a liquor store or something. I don't know. What's her name from Friends? Monica is in it.
Okay.
And the guy she was married to at the time. He's got a famous sister.
It's the Arquettes.
Yeah.
Courtney Cox.
Carl.
And David.
David
Arquette was her husband.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a whole family.
Anyway,
Patricia.
He's in that movie too. I don't think she is.
But she's the most talented and famous of the bunch.
Patty?
Sure.
What was she? Was she the one that dated No, that was Rosanna that dated the Toto guy. That what's this called? That Rosanna song is all about.
Patricia was just in Severance.
Oh.
Did you watch Severance?
No.
Christian?
Have you heard of the song Rosanna, Christian?
Nope.
Toto, ring a bell to you? Christian, Toto was a famous band in the 80s.
Not. Okay. Yeah, Africa.
Yeah, yes, they had another hit called Rosanna. I believe it was written about Rosanna Arquette.
It's a good album. I've got that album.
Really?
On vinyl, yeah.
Nice.
It's a good album.
That was a good find.
It was
Garage sale?
It's like $2.
Yeah. Home run by you. All right, Cole Bagley, we have this confirmed.
All right.
All right, he's prided himself away from Lord knows what in Vegas, and he's going to jump on with us, talk a little hockey. Coming up next, Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Derek Overstreet, founder of the New Millennium Group. We're a financial planning firm. We have advisors standing by right now to take your call. 888-999-6370. The reason you're going to want to call is we're going to help you retire 3 to 5 years before you thought possible. The way we do this is by putting together a step-by-step plan. So if you're one of those people listening and you'd like a plan in writing, give us a call at 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370, or go to utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
Not only do these guys give you the best Jazz coverage in the market, they've got you covered with the Mammoth, the Cougars, the Utes, and the Aggies. This is Chase Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. The Mammoth are in the playoffs. They're down 1-0 to the Las Vegas Golden Knights after a tough loss last night in Vegas. Our next guest visit on the show, midday, afternoon, whenever, it's brought to you by Hercules First Federal Credit Union, growing stronger together. He covers the Mammoth for KSLSports.com. He's our buddy Cole Bagley. What's going on, Cole?
How are you guys doing?
Doing terrific, Cole. Mammoth fall behind 1-0. What were your takeaways from the first game and how the Mammoth, I guess, handled this novel experience?
Yeah, I think there's kind of a lot to unpack from game one for the Mammoth. I think there's a lot of positives, but I think there's also, some areas for improvement and some things that they need to fix rather quickly if they don't want to fall behind 2-0. So, first and foremost, yeah, it's the first game, first playoff game in Utah Mammoth history. I thought that they managed the emotions of that and kind of just everything that goes into that really well for the majority of the game. I thought that they rose to the occasion. That Logan Cooley was spectacular, and I think a lot of the younger guys, they look like they belong. Dylan Gunther even was, he may have been, a little bit easier to overlook his contributions, but I thought he was good, especially defensively. He made a couple of really critical defensive plays in terms of, his back check and, utilizing an active stick to break up some plays. So I think from that perspective, I think it was, a good playoff debut. I also think that, they proved that they can skate with Vegas. At the end of the day, it was really just a 1-goal game, not counting the empty netter, and they were right there. But I think on the flip side, if you're leading 2-1 in a hockey game in the third period on the road in the playoffs, you got to find a way to win that game, or at a minimum get to overtime, and give yourself a chance to again try and come away with the win. Because right now, it's not an 82-game season anymore. It's a brand new season, and every round is about the first to 4. And, for Utah to be, in the situation where they're leading in the third period, it felt like they kind of fell apart in some ways. Alexander Kerfoot took a bad penalty that gave Vegas a chance to get back into the game, and then the momentum kind of swung from there. So, like I said, I think there's positives and negatives overall. I don't know that many people were expecting Utah to come out and steal game one. So, game two will definitely be a big focus, because going down 2-0, not that it's, a death sentence per se, but, it's really tough to come back, especially against a team like Vegas when you're down 2-0.
So, Cole, listening to hockey people like yourself talk about the difference in playoff hockey, everybody brings up the physicality, and that no doubt proved itself to be true in game number one. My question for you is, what do the Mammoth do to overcome the size and physicality disadvantage that they're obviously at? They're so much smaller. So I guess speed is a factor, but what do they need to do to counterbalance the physical size advantage of the Golden Knights?
Yeah, I think, when you get to the postseason, you are who you are, right? The Mammoth are not necessarily a overly physical team. They can't change their size. They can't change, the makeup of their roster. So I think what they need to do is, to kind of match the intensity. I think that Logan Cooley, did that the right way last night. He got involved in a couple of scraps. He stood up for himself. He stood up for his teammates. He was delivering hits. I think that's the proper way to go about it, because if you try to match Vegas and play their game, they're going to take you out of your game really fast, and things are going to go south. So for Utah, I think it's more about, continuing to utilize their speed to break Vegas down. They definitely need to be a little bit more assertive on their forecheck because, like we've talked about, before, Utah is at their best when they're getting pucks in deep, when they're winning battles, they're reloading, they're moving the puck quickly and then breaking teams down. And we just didn't really see a lot of that last night. Utah was mostly generating their offense off the rush, which is fine, but I just don't see them winning a 7-game series strictly by generating off the rush. So for Utah, they need to stick to their game, but they do need to raise the level of their intensity just a little bit more. I think more along the lines of what Cooley was doing. Just getting guys' faces a little bit more. Throw some more hits, be a little bit more assertive and aggressive. And I think if they can do that, I think that'll balance out their offensive game a little bit more and give them a chance to compete.
Mackenzie Weegar had a very costly turnover in the third period that led to the goal that did end up giving the Vegas Golden Knights the advantage there. He has not been particularly productive from a points standpoint. How do you view how he's playing? I know he caught a lot of flack last night after the game.
Yeah, he's, first of all, he's an outstanding guy. Just cream of the crop, very, very kind. I was chatting with him before. We all departed Salt Lake City to come down to Vegas, and he shook my hand and asked me if I was going down and told me to have a good time. So he's great, and he's honest and forthcoming and all that stuff. But to be honest with you, I don't think that Weegar's been particularly good since Utah acquired him at the trade deadline. I think he's played kind of beneath what their expectations were for his game, and I wonder if that is kind of a result of where he kind of came from in Calgary. I mean, that was a team that there were no expectations. The Flames are, I think, a team that don't really know who they are. They don't really know the direction that they're going. And so I think it was easy for him to kind of fly under the radar and not have to try as hard. Whereas, then he's traded and he comes to Utah and suddenly expectations are a lot higher. This is a team that not only wanted to make the playoffs and they're able to do so, but they want to make some noise here in the first round. They don't want to just come in, get swept, or only win a game because, that doesn't necessarily help you a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. So, I think if you look at his game a little bit closer, I think it's more just a result of being a little bit lazy, not being at the top of his game mentally, not, checking, where he's at on the ice, where the opponents are. He's had, a number of really bad turnovers that have resulted in a handful of goals down the stretch. And, that kind of bled over into the game last night. And I think, later in the third period, they actually switched up the lines. I think Dursey and Weegar swapped places, going from the top to the third pairing. So, yeah, Utah definitely needs more from Mackenzie Weegar, if they want a chance to make some noise and to win some games against Vegas.
What happened to with the first line with the Mammoth? Seems like they need more out of them.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably the biggest overlying question, coming from game one last night was, where was the first line? And, we talked to Coach Torney about that today, and, he kind of, not necessarily made excuses, but it just kind of talked about, it's the first, playoff game for this franchise. It's kind of a feel it out type of situation. The other, Vegas obviously has a say in what goes on. And I do think that, Vegas played them the right way. But, when you break it down, you boil it down, that's the most productive line for Utah during the regular season. I mean, Keller had 88 points. I think Schmaltz was in the high 70s. Krause was approaching 50. They led the way in a lot of games, and they were the reason that Utah won a lot of important games down the stretch. And, to not only go scoreless, but to be a collective -8 on the stat sheet, that's just unacceptable at this point, right? I mean, this is playoff hockey, and it's either sink or swim. And not that they necessarily need to go beyond their game, but the fact that they couldn't even really produce and were somewhat of a liability a lot of the times on the ice, that has to change. You cannot have your best line, not producing anything at all and then, struggling in the defensive zone. So, Krause, we were able to ask Krause about that last night, and, he owned up to it, and, he said, look, we definitely want to step up and be better, and I think that's going to be a huge emphasis for this team going into game two.
Fourth line for Vegas was very good, including Dowd getting the goal and then trying to kill Logan Cooley after the game. But they were better than the Mammoth fourth line. Is this a sign of depth, or is there something the Mammoth can do to make up for some of this?
Yeah, I mean, that is something that if Utah wants to have success in this series, they can't be losing the third and fourth line battles. And I don't even think particularly that Vegas is deeper than Utah. I don't know that their third and fourth lines are necessarily better than Utah's, but they definitely were last night. And that's a big reason why Utah was not able to come out on top was, the first line was really quiet, but, in Vegas's end, Marner and Eichel and Stone, they didn't do a whole lot except for on the power play. And so those two lines kind of canceled out. I thought Utah's second line was their best line in terms of forwards. Then the third and fourth, they were quiet. We didn't really see much at all from J.J. Peterka or Carconi. Kerfoot took a really bad penalty that, kind of changed around the momentum. And then, on that fourth line, obviously Stenlund got a goal, but it wasn't because of really anything that line did to generate that goal. It was just kind of a weird fluke of Carter Hart fumbling the puck behind the net, and then it just so happens to fall on Stenlund's stick and takes a good bounce and goes into the back of the net. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think that it's necessarily something that's going to be super replicable for the Knights, but if Utah wants, again, to play better and to give themselves a chance to win, those third and fourth lines have to be better.
What kind of Vegas guy are you, Cole? Are you like bust out the banana hammock and go to the pool? Are you checking the food? Are you in the casino? What kind of Vegas guy are you?
I'm on the clock doing my job, not leaving my hotel room except for the arena kind of Vegas guy right now.
Oh, no, Cole, we're off the air. You can tell us.
Seriously,
we're off.
Cole.
Yeah. Maddie and Nate aren't listening. You can tell us whatever you want.
No, I like I said, I'm just hanging out and just trying to produce as much content as possible.
All right.
With a hurricane in one hand and a bottle of Banana Boat in the other.
You only live once, man.
Yeah, you really do. Cole, thank you. We'll continue, of course, to have you on and help us out and follow all of your great coverage. Thanks, man.
Enjoy Vegas.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Cole. Here's the thing Cole's got to work on when lying about what he's doing. You can't just go with, I'm just in my hotel room the whole time. Because nobody's going to believe that.
Right.
You have to be like, I'm working on my stuff, and I'm going to get out, and I'm going to go see the Michael Jackson Cirque du Soleil show.
Hit up the buffet.
Or hit up the buffet.
I'm going to see the late performance of the DJ. I popped over to Coachella for the evening yesterday after the game, and then I came back, and I'm ready to work.
I've told you my story of I stayed at the Hard Rock when we were covering Summer League. We just got down there. I was going to bed. I had to do a hit with DJ and PK the next morning, and we were doing the show live from the hotel room. And I think the Hard Rock is gone now, right? Well, the old one, paper thin walls, I'm telling you. And so I'm getting ready for bed, 10, 11 o'clock. The person next to, all I hear is just chatter and hair dryers. Oh. And I'm like, this is going to be bad.
Gal's going out.
Come like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Because, they're going to be coming back.
This is going to be really bad. Yeah. And so they came back, and sure enough, is exactly how you would expect. So I got up the next morning to do my hit with DJ and PK. I was like, hey, guys!
Nice and loud.
Good morning! Woo!
These walls are thin.
Here to talk some Summer League.
How long you need me?
Guess who moved?
The ladies next door.
Oh, they certainly did.
The hairdryer.
Yeah, you better believe they did. But yeah, Cole, you can't just say, no, I'm locking myself in my room until game time, dude. Come on.
Head down? No.
I mean,
there's no game tonight.
You're not doing that if you're in Boise, let alone Vegas.
Yeah. Right. Go out on the town.
Vegas.
Probably not that hot yet.
Underrated for food. Like a good foodie
city.
town.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Walk by the fountains because apparently they're going to pave over those in short order.
Okay.
Did you hear about that? Mm-hmm. They're going to build a new tower. They figure they're wasting money with all that real estate going to, beautiful fountains.
They probably need the water. Yeah, I walked into town. We were by Allegiant Stadium on the other side of the strip.
Of the fairway.
And I walked into town when we were there for Big 12 Media Days. I got myself a spicy chicken sandwich. I didn't do anything crazy. It was midday. It was 200 degrees.
It was hot.
But I walked in.
You did something.
I did something.
You didn't sit in your room.
Right.
I did, though, because I was just excited to be away from my kids.
And what did you do? Sat in silence.
I did nothing. I was only there for one night, though.
Yeah, we were not there for a long time.
Cole's down there for a few days. Yeah. Coming up next, we have the Audio Vault, a new segment where we play the top audio of the day. or what we editorially consider the top audio.
Jake's favorite audio of the day.
Stay tuned.
That's what we should label it.
More next. I think we're going to be off to a good start today. We have a couple of different things, and they're both relevant.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
No crazy soundbite slips past these guys.
I came here for the same reason people go to the zoo.
This is another edition of the Audio Vault with Jake and Ben. On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Stay tuned. We've got a music segment coming up in our very next segment.
It's not daily. We're not doing a daily
No.
4 o'clock music show.
That's coming up next, but I have been busy with the band. I've got some new material.
I'm excited.
And we have new listeners, so we can reset a couple of the older.
Some of your classics.
Some of the classics. So stay tuned for that. It's coming up next. Rules of the show at 5:30. You're not going to want to miss that. That has a visual component. So get to the YouTube or KSLSports.com. Live at 5, coming up at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. But right now it's time for the Audio Vault, the best sound of the day. And it really could go any direction. However, today it's going to be more sportsy. Ben is the curator of our Audio Vault today, Ben, because I have not heard this, but you basically teased me by saying this is going to make me very angry.
You went somewhat viral a couple of weeks ago when Rob Wright threw his name into the transfer portal because you said there are some players who are not good enough to play a certain way. Rob Wright dribbles a lot. Mm-hmm. There is nobody in the world who dribbles more than LaMelo Ball. We've been critical of him. I even tried to defend LaMelo Ball going into the play-in tournament because I said he's kind of cutting out some of the circus act. Some of the I pull up from half court to drain a three that he did in high school has left him a little bit. The big baller brand aspect of LaMelo has decreased 5%. Mm-hmm. And then the Charlotte Hornets fall back into being the Charlotte Hornets because they get blown out on the road in Orlando in the play-in tournament game after what had been their best season in some time.
Lost by 31.
And this is what LaMelo had to say, his analysis after the game.
I just feel like it was just too late. I should have been doing that from the jump for real. Like I said, we was doing a lot of plays and stuff, just getting pushed around and everything. I feel like I should have just took the ball from the beginning for real. But
if you were Charles Lee and your star player, after you just won something like 44 games, they had a good year this year, like a good Charlotte game, a good Charlotte season. You get to the play-in. You lose in the play-in because LaMelo absolutely no-showed in the first half. Let me see if I can pull up his box score from the first half alone. LaMelo, 12 minutes, 1 of 6 shooting, 2 points. This is your all-star. This guy's making $40 million. He says, guys, I think the reason we lost this game is we ran too many plays. If you were Charles Lee and you had worked with LaMelo all of this year to get to this point, and then he doesn't execute anything you're saying, he decides, third quarter, we're down 20. I mean, they were down like 22-5 to start the game. This game was over before it started. LaMelo in the third quarter scores 21 points, 6 of 11 shooting. He's going to say, that's how I need to play every day for the rest of my life. I need to go full big baller brand. And not only am I going to believe that, I'm going to say it to the media.
Trey Burke left the Jazz, and he was traded or whatever. I think he went to Washington. And he was asked by the reporters if he would go back and do anything differently during his time in Utah. Do you remember what his answer was? He said, I would have listened to the coaches less. That's what he said. I mean, Trey, who was given the ultimate latitude, drafted as the future point guard on a bad team, handed the ball. They traded up to get him, handed him the ball from the day he got on the roster, and they say, Trey, you go eat, man.
Defense optional.
We don't care if you do go 3-4. What did he's like set a record. It was like
several 3 of 21 games.
It was something
brutal.
Bananas. Like, get out there and knock yourself out. You know, the ultimate latitude. The Jazz started to get better, and they tried to rein him in a little bit, and then figured out that he sucked, so they decided to trade him. And his lesson from it is, wow, I should have listened to him less.
I don't think those guys knew what they were talking about.
If I were the coach of Charlotte, I'd say I'm out of here. I'm not. Are you kidding? That we just got crushed by 30 in a game where LaMelo played like garbage. And after the game, he comes out and he says, "Wow, I should have just taken the ball more." He was 7 of 17.
I should have just done that from the jump.
I should have just done it. I mean,
we got to save that. I should have done that from the jump. Yeah, LaMelo.
That Brandon Miller guy, he sucks. Con Knipple, are you kidding?
He is going to be the ultimate addition by subtraction in the NBA because he is clearly superbly talented. He's 6'8". He's got the ball on a string. He can shoot. He's got a weird jump shot, but he can shoot. He can clearly score. He's put up some of the craziest triple-double numbers you will ever see, and it doesn't matter in the slightest. No. It doesn't help you at all.
We do that crosstalk with Locke and Boone at the end of games. This was last year after the Charlotte, one of the Charlotte games, and I said to Booner in crosstalk, I said, "You know what? He's not good enough to play that way." Exactly what you were saying. And Booner goes, "Really? Why do you say that?" And I said, "Because he has that high of usage on what turned out to be 19-win team. But at the time, it was like 11 wins. It was like, because he plays that way, and they've only won 11 games. And Booner's response was, "Well, yeah, that's a good point."
I should have done that from the jump. I should have signed my own. I should have called my own number from the jump.
But what was I thinking? I gotta call. You know what this situation needed was more LaMelo. No, they should move him as soon as soon as possible. As soon as they possibly can. Why people are still pretending that he's good? You should get him off your roster. Brutal. I still think LeVar Ball might be the most brilliant marketer of our time.
May we all be as good of fathers as LeVar Ball.
I tell you what, he made his kids millions.
All of them.
Got his son out of China
and turned him into a professional rapper. He rapped at the All-Star game. That's not free.
I'm not a music critic, but there's no way it's good.
Doesn't have anything to do with good. Is the money good? Great. You've done a great job.
You stole sunglasses in China.
On a trip with UCLA.
On a trip with your team. All right. We're playing some new hits coming up next. If you've never heard one of our music segments, you need to stick around. Stay tuned. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The 4 o'clock hour is here.
It's fun time!
And you're locked on to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson.
No.
Whoa. Coin toss coming down right now.
Is it really?
The Utah Jazz have won the tiebreaker with the Sacramento Kings.
Wow.
They are guaranteed to hold on to this year's draft pick.
How about that? Breaking news.
Just came down.
This is Jake and Ben on 97.5. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Join Scotty G and the coach coming up on Wednesday from 11 to 2 at Tim Daly Mazda and Sandy, 10785 South Auto Mall Drive. Yes, that was the big story of last hour. The Jazz won the coin toss with the Kings, meaning they will automatically keep their draft pick. They still split the odds, but they cannot fall to 9. So the Jazz will be participating in the up-and-coming draft. Ben, a couple other things, and then we've got our music segment real quick. We've had some feedback and some stuff going on online, part of the big announcement. Yes, Jake and Ben, we're moving up in the day, our schedule to 2 to 6. And as a celebration, I guess, the KSL Sports, Maddie put together a promotional video that's like a what is it? Takeoff of the Full House?
Full House intro,
which is pretty funny. Great job by those guys on that. But Andrew tweets in and says, Tim looks like the cool high school teacher that really connects with his students, and Jake looks like he really wants to teach you about investing in cryptocurrency.
Oh, okay. Crypto Jake. Could be a new identity.
And then Adam says, the Audio Vault, a new segment or an old one you decided to dust off now that you have 4 hours of airtime to fill? The latter.
We don't need to get into that.
The latter.
Yeah. We don't need to point everything out.
Okay. If you are new to our show, maybe you just don't have a chance to tune in during the midday from 10 to noon. That is certainly understandable. But, Ben, I have been honing my talents as a songwriter for the past, year or two.
Sometime.
But it's been a while.
Yeah.
So I get the band together, I write some tunes, and we make music. And we play it on the show. You'll hear our Island Vibes at the end of every show.
Yes.
Just Jake and Ben talking
rule.
sports.
Good. We got to make sure we point out that rule.
Yeah. So that is a thing. Should we revisit a couple of our favorites and then we'll do some new music?
Yeah, the midday crowd knows your music.
Right.
But the afternoon crowd certainly does not.
So this one was probably my favorite and where I want to start because I am writing a musical about Bob Costas.
Uh-huh.
And this was the centerpiece of the musical. This is the big number, the Go, 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 Joseph, if you will.
Yeah, defying gravity.
Right, uh-huh. Yeah. It's about Bob not wanting to take the night off even though he has pink eye.
At the Olympics.
At the Olympics. Uh-huh. So let's play a little bit of Bob Will Never Blink.
They taped my lids in matching gauze. The makeup team applied applause. The interns gag, the crew recoils. They Lysol spray my pens and coils. The producer bleeds, we've called the sub. He's handsome, healthy, scrub-a-dub. But who will hype the bobsled run if Blinky Bob's not having fun? The steers fly, the torches blaze, the ice dancers earn perfect praise. How could I leave this frosty fight for chamomile and candlelight? I will not take the night off. I will not leave this chair. My pupils look like cherries. I still refuse to care.
All right.
Yeah, so you get the idea.
Yeah, but you're varied. You're not just a Broadway writer.
No. I did the other one we'll kind of play to get people familiar with it. By the way, it's still good.
It's a good song. Move over, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
It's still pretty great.
Jake's here.
I mean, you wait till you see the rest of it.
Yeah.
I gotta do the follow-up where Tirico fully bullies him out of his job. That's that's the next thing.
The end of the play.
Yeah,
At least the end of the second act.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then he comes back doing Sunday Night Baseball. Clear-eyed. But it all dials back to that one day. But no, we did a campaign to sponsor the Jake and Ben show last year. And so I thought I came up with a pretty good, I don't know, you can't call this a jingle. It's a jam.
It's a pitch.
It's a jam to encourage people to jump on board. Let's go ahead and play that.
Neon dreams light up the night. The Jake and Ben show shining bright. Voices calling through the air. A world of wonder if you dare. But we need you now. Keep it alive. Text GB to 575. Around the rack. Sponsor the show. Let the love flow. Just one small text.
So we got a taste of your range.
I think it's a lot of range. That's a good word
for it. Yeah, you can go Broadway. You can go pure hair rock 80s ballad.
Yeah, kind of 80s ballad there. Sponsor the show. Text JB to 575.
Don't do it anymore. Yeah.
You could still sponsor the show.
Yeah, we'd love that.
But you can't text that.
Now
number.
2 to 6.
No, now 2 to 6. Yeah. All right, so I've got 3 new ones now.
Wow.
I don't know if we
busy.
can. I don't know if we can play all of them because they are kind of long. But we cover a wide variety. We, as I said, we use the Island Vibes to close the show.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need something to open it. Okay. So I think we need a Jake and Ben theme song.
Okay.
Now, if you guys want to veto this and say it's not good, that's fine.
I've not ever heard this.
I can go back to the drawing board. Yeah, Ben has never heard
this is fresh from the lab.
This new version. So this is the Jake and Ben theme song potentially. Go ahead, Christian.
From 2 to 6. Monday through Friday, tune it in. Jake and Ben are jumping in on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Turn it up. You're in the zone. It's the Jake and Ben Show. The KSL Sports Zone. Crazy calls and wild depicts, arguing who's good, who's great. Busting chops, then switching gears. Big time guests in your ears. It's the Jacob and Show. Hot takes on the go. Bad jokes, big laughs, that's how they roll. Oh yeah, from 2 p.m. to driving home, it's the Jake and Ben Show, where the fun runs the whole show. Talk ball till the whistle blows on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. So grab a seat, don't be late. Jake and Ben.
I'm up for it. Only if we play the entire song to open the show every single day.
Fine with me.
2.5 minute open.
Well, there's a couple verses. We could just go through the first verse.
No, it's all or nothing. It's got to be the entire show. The first 2 minutes has to be the most unlistenable radio in all of Salt Lake City.
That's not unlistenable.
For the next 4 hours.
Jeez.
How is that,
Critics.
that was unlistenable? I mean, hot takes, bad jokes. That's basically what we are.
It's a very meta song.
I thought it was good. Now I'm having a crisis of confidence. Christian,
know,
what do you think?
I will say that while it was playing and we're all listening to it, I mean, the cameras were off during that segment, but we were all three
We're
of
all
us were
bobbing our
sitting
heads.
here bobbing our
Jamming.
heads. Yeah.
Jamming.
Right, so let's do that for 2.5 minutes to start every single show at 2 o'clock.
You just called it unlistenable. How dare you?
Sorry to you and the band.
It's very descriptive. Gave
it
all
was-
the information
it was
that is
very
necessary.
on the nose.
Yeah.
Now, so is...
That's what an opening song's supposed to be.
is Take the Night Off, or I Will Not Take the Night Off. Also very on the eye, you know. But, yeah.
So to speak.
So to speak. All right. Well, what else do you have?
Okay, there's the opening. This one, Christian is back with us. He's a new father.
Okay.
He has a son.
2-week-old.
Named Dalton.
What are we at, 16 days? 17 days.
A lot of math.
17 days.
And so this one is for Christian. This one's called Drowning in Diapers.
Christian on the couch, remote in his hand, game on the screen like he's a one-man band. Dalton starts wailing from the nursery fall. Wife in the doorway says, "Get off that log." Now he's drowning in diapers up to his lazy eyes. Thought he'd surf on the sofa, now it's lullabies. Drowning in diapers, no time for alibis. 'Cause love looks like 3 a.m. and surprise supplies. He checks with one finger, says he smells just fine. She folds her arms, gives him that line. Christian Esparza, you help make that boy. You can change a diaper. You can earn your joy. So he's drowning in diapers.
Drowning in diapers. I like that he checked with one finger.
Checked with one
It
finger.
smells fine.
It smells. Every person has done that. He's fine.
And then the wife's like,
Bring him over here.
is he fine?
Drowning in diapers.
How are the diapers going?
Oh, it's more than I expected, I'll tell you that.
Well, you're at this stage still where as soon as you see the blue line, you're like,
change it.
Gotta change him.
Change it.
And by the time they're like a year and a half old, you're like, that'll last for the next 3 days.
He's been in the
He's
same
fine.
diaper for weeks.
Yeah. When did you change him? Tuesday. What day is it? I don't know. You'll be fine. But you guys are at that point where it's like anything you're changing.
It's like, at least 10 a day.
Yeah.
Wait till you get to solids, pal. You're going to love that.
Right.
You're going to love that. All right.
That's the finger thing.
So there's number 2, drowning in diapers for Christian. And then number 3, and I like drowning in diapers in our theme song, but I think this one might be the best one.
This is our best work.
This one goes out to our guy Nurk, who underwent season-ending surgery on his nose.
Yusuf Nurkic, as you like to call him, what do you call him? The beak?
The Bosnian beak?
Bosnian beak. Underwent nasal surgery at the midway point of the year. We
He
did
did.
not see him again.
Yeah. So what is this one technically called, Christian? Nurk can finally breathe.
All right.
Let's play it.
Nurk took a charge on a Tuesday night. Caught one straight on the nose. Saw stars, saw light. Coach said, shake it off. Crowd roar, you'll be fine. But every breath since then felt stuck in a lie. Hey, Nurk can finally breathe. Open sky running through his teeth. Utah crowd singing, feel that breeze. Hey, Nurk can finally breathe. Spinning down the lane so free. I swear I even look better. He grins with ease. 3 long years of that crooked stream. Sleeping like a bear with a broken dream. Season gone sideways, team down in a funk. Utah boys huddled round, said fix that trunk. Man, we're tired of watching you fight for air. Call the doc, let him straighten that stare. We'll lose some games, we'll lose some pride, but we want you all inside. Hey, Nurk can finally breathe. Open sky running through his teeth. Utah crowd singing, feel that breeze. Hey, Nurk can finally breathe. Spinning down the lane so free.
Sing along, baby.
It's very, like John Legendy a little bit, like his jazzier stuff. So we we opened with Broadway Bob Costas, who, by the way, probably plays himself, right? Because he's not letting anybody else have that
That's
job.
probably true.
It's like you try to cast Bill Pullman.
Bob's like, I don't think so.
Cut his brakes. Weird. Then we went to the ballad with Sponsor the Show. Then we went to, what was that? The Music Man?
Yeah, I was going for kind of opening that way, yeah.
Okay. With the Jake
Wait, pump this part up.
in the afternoon.
I just want to get
Feel
this
the
part.
breeze.
Nurk can't finally breathe.
Then it was Drowning in Diapers, which was wasn't quite Bob Dylan-y, but it was more singer-songwriter. And then we close it with John Legend, with some jazzy.
Nurk can
not
finally
quite R&B,
breathe.
but yeah.
I
All
pray
right.
that Yusuf Nurkic hears this song.
Oh man, we got to get it to Nurk. I bet his life's totally different.
If anybody has made it through this segment and is still listening, I hope that they're able to get that to our guy, the Bosnian Beast, aka the Bosnian Beak.
That was all gold. I'm not going to let your downer energy get me down.
I'm up for it. I'm just telling you, if
That
we're
was
going to
all
play
amazing.
the intro, which, by the way, got some text. Shout out Trevor Allen, listening on his drive down to, at least he's going to Manti. He said that's fire. He said that's got to be the opening of the show. And I said, fine. Then it's got to be the full 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I want to have the longest intro in sports history.
Nurk can't finally breathe. I think we're all relieved. I like it just to sing along there I feel like we could all.
It would catch on.
Hold hands and feel good for Nurk, like round the world support for Nurk's nose.
Well, it's got a good hook.
For the Bosnian Beak?
Yeah.
We can finally breathe again.
My wife liked the Drowning in Diapers.
Did she?
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Shout out to everybody listening.
Well, yeah, I'm sure she's busting your hump all day to get off your duff and help out a little bit.
Well, that segment cost us a fortune. That blew our entire budget for the year.
Well, the guys are well paid.
Yeah, Jake pays the guys well, and of course, Dad's got to eat too. So
yeah, right.
The leader of the band's got to get paid.
Got to carve that off the top. Yeah, well, I got royalties, bro.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. A little music segment for you.
And it pops up occasionally. You and the band get together. You're kind of the Rick Rubin of the whole situation. You're just kind of pointing them in the right direction, writing some of the lyrics. And maybe monthly? Maybe
right, somewhere
we have
around
something
there.
come up.
When I feel
the band
inspired.
you got a little downtime.
And Nurk's Nose was definitely inspirational.
I think that was the hit. Can I say that was
jam?
my favorite? I think that was the best. Nurk Can Finally Breathe. And this is has some shelf life. I mean, all of these really do. Our show's going to be around for, after that segment, at least the next 2 weeks. And then Christian has a baby and he's going to be in diapers for 4 years, 3 years,
Still drowning
whatever.
in diapers.
So that has some time. And then at least through free agency, if Nurk comes back.
Oh, that can live on.
Finally breathe.
Nurk had 3 triple doubles in a row. Everybody's going to remember Nurk.
That's true.
They got shut down for a beak injury. How often does that happen?
And we'll have to track him wherever he lands if he doesn't.
And his healthy beak. I bet he balls out next year.
Yeah, better than
He'll
ever.
finally sleep again. He was sleeping like a bear with a nightmare.
Well, first of all, he's going to look dazzling.
Already does.
Because they probably, while they were in there, just clean it up a little bit too. Just whatever.
Little rhinoplasty, make it
give
look
me
good.
the right look. And then he's going to be breathing well, so his cardio is going to be at an all-time high. So he's going to be absolutely fit.
We've got Live at 5 at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. We've got rules of the show at 5:30. Stay tuned. We'll talk Mammoth hockey and, of course, the NBA playoffs straight ahead. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Not only do these guys give you the best Jazz coverage in the market, they've got you covered with the Mammoth, the Cougars, the Utes, and the Aggies. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jacob Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Now 2 to 6. Tune in every single day. We also want to remind you to call my friends at Trajan Wealth today, your local trusted financial fiduciary. That is Trajan Wealth. I thought I'm going to ignore your negative energy.
I thought it was a positive. I'm just trying to give you honest feedback.
And shout out to Wild Turkey Fart Blunt on the Snap Talk. He created some album art for Christian's song "Drowning in Diapers."
Yeah.
And I am excited that Christian's wife liked that song. I was hoping she would. Congratulations to her.
Shout out Julia.
Was it hard to leave home? You've been at home with the baby for a couple of weeks. Was it hard to go? Were you excited to get back to work? How'd it work?
Well, and it's a new schedule for us and the show, right? So it's already an adjustment, changing what time I come into the station. So yeah, it was a little weird waking up and then having like a few hours at home with her and the baby, and then saying, "Okay, I have to go to work."
How are you? What's your go-to hold? You like the football hold?
Christian hasn't touched that baby yet.
Yeah, well,
a few months.
What do I hold?
You're not holding the baby?
I like the over the shoulder.
Fireman carry.
Yeah.
So your head's facing down your back. Smart. You don't hurt your back that way.
Drape a burp cloth over my shoulder. Yeah.
I was like the football with my youngest, you know what I'm talking about, where you hold him like with the forearm, because I feel like it maximized what I could do.
Okay.
Then my second hated that.
Okay.
Hated it.
She did not like
the first loved it. The second
You could write
hated
music
it.
with your offhand.
Oh man, I was doing dishes. I was doing all sorts of stuff. My second one required much more attention.
You have a baby, Bjorn?
No, I don't know. What's that?
That's the thing that the baby sits in, like you just strap it to yourself, and the baby can sit there. That way you can.
In the front?
My wife does. I haven't used it yet, but I can't wait.
Taking it for a walk yet?
Yeah, we did. We took him for 2 walks. One, we took him out probably earlier than we should have, and he started screaming.
How's the dog handling it?
Dog's loving him.
Cowboy likes him?
He loves him.
Protective?
Yeah, and he'll get up and like want to lick him and stuff. He's very gentle, which is good.
My dog, who passed away in your absence, really did not like my grandma coming over to see the baby.
Oh, really?
Shout out Big G. Yeah.
Have you experienced the purple cry yet?
Like it cries so hard he turns purple?
Hey, you haven't heard of the term purple cry? Yeah, there is some purple in there, but like the unconsolable cry.
He got close, and my wife, she's a nurse, so she can see like she's a NICU nurse, right? So she deals with babies. She saw it coming and like picked him up and said, "He's gonna stop breathing."
What a hack.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wife knows everything already. Good for her.
Did you see that the clinic wore ankle socks? And everybody's in game one against the Spurs, and people are either clowning him or giving a shout out like a true throwback millennial.
Since we have a new audience, the clinic is former Utah Jazz man Kelly Olynyk, who now plays for the San Antonio Spurs. There is a list, a mile long, of nicknames that Jake has for people that he just says, assuming that everybody listening for the first time or otherwise knows who they are. So I will do my best to interpret what Jake is saying so you understand.
Hey, we can talk about this more with the rules, but people, I am happy to reset any bit.
Absolutely. You just said the clinic the first time there, like everybody knows who the clinic is.
Hey, Thurl was calling him the clinic, too.
Okay.
That kind of caught on.
Kelly Olynyk, the clinic, was wearing ankle socks.
He was wearing ankle socks, and
Okay.
people are, because I am, do you remember the time, Ben, and this is showing how old I am. We can actually talk some NBA playoffs here in a minute, but I remember getting clowned by my classmates because I was wearing normal length socks.
Mm-hmm.
When ankle socks first came in, and if you were seen with socks that went above your ankle, you were made fun of.
A dweeb, yeah.
So, and this is truly one of the most hurtful parts of my upbringing.
Your socks?
Because I was in junior high.
Okay.
And we went out to, I got sad that I was clowned for my socks. So I switched it up in gym. I said, Mom, go give me some ankle socks.
Or at the very least, a pair of scissors.
I'm getting freaking bullied here.
Yeah.
This is brutal. So I got some ankle socks and I went to gym. My first day at gym in my ankle socks. And all of a sudden people started making fun of me. I was like, what are you talking about? And I looked down and Ben, I've got up to my ankle a tan line. A tan line.
Yeah.
So now I have ankle socks, but I'm getting clowned for my tan line. It was like, I can't win with you bullies. Leave me alone. And from this day on, that day on, I've been sensitive about my socks.
So what do you do? Just wear like knee highs or what? Thigh highs? What are you wearing?
No, I'm back to just normal socks.
Normal socks.
But I'm not
okay.
wearing shorts.
Pantyhose?
No, but I've been damaged, even though the ankle socks went out, apparently, because it's news that Kelly Olynyk's wearing ankle socks. I just continued on with it because I think I'm kind of damaged.
Well, it's nice because Kelly, at most, I would think there would actually be a real issue here, which is you're wearing high top shoes. If you're wearing ankle socks, we're talking blisters, right? We're talking like ankle irritation.
The clinic goes with the low tops, though.
Does he?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, he only played 53 seconds, so it didn't end up being an issue, but I bet he didn't think he was going to be on the floor. So he's like, yeah, I'll wear dress socks. I
think he's got the low tops on.
Oh, that does look weird.
I think he should be their number one, the Jazz, that is, their number one free agent target.
Over the Bosnian Beak?
Well, I mean, what a Sophie's choice. But I think that the clinic has more to offer the Jazz young players.
Than Yusuf Nurkic.
Because
you want him to teach them how to?
Play dirty.
Play dirty.
I don't, no offense to the Bosnian Beak, but I don't want you to teach the Jazz young players how to cook out there.
Sure, no triple doubles.
No, we don't.
Spiral fractures of the forearm.
No, but does Phil need to learn how to slide somebody under the basket? 100%.
Yeah. Here's how you take out a man's ACL without the ref noticing.
Who's Phil?
Well, that's Kyle Filipowski.
Not Flip, which everybody else calls him.
No, it's Phil.
Phil. Yeah.
But Phil needs to learn how to pop Kevin Love's shoulder out of
their teammates
socket when it comes down to it. Just an example of what the clinic has done.
Okay.
In his past.
Okay.
Like he'll find a role in this playoffs. He will go out there and hurt the other team's best player at some point.
Kind of wonder if that's what the Mammoth need.
That's exactly what the Mammoth need.
They need their own clinic, Kelly Olynyk.
Yeah, they sure do. Yeah. So now I'm going to be paying attention. Does he stay with the ankle sock?
Okay, because he got made fun of.
I don't know. Some people are saying it's a great throwback to the millennial. Like it's a shout out to the millennials.
Okay, which he is one.
Christian, what version of sock was is in style now?
I think ankle socks, maybe mid. I used to wear the tall Nike socks, and I would get teased a little bit for that. So, I guess mid.
Got to bring back the tube sock with the stripe. The two stripes, the two parallel stripes. You know what I'm talking about? All right. Anyway, the Spurs. Let me ask you this: we can transition to either the big Jazz news of the day. They win the coin toss with Sacramento, so they're keeping their pick for sure, ensuring that this season, which was not the most enjoyable Jazz season, that certainly I have covered, or you have, I'm sure, Ben, that it does pay off, and they do keep their pick, and they will pick no lower than 8th I say go ahead and plan on 7th, but they will pick no lower than 8th. So you may be watching other teams in the playoffs this year, but the Jazz will still keep their pick.
And you can go into the lottery basically carefree. Now, I know Jazz fans now are going to want to be, I mean this nicely, greedy, and are going to just want to get a top 3 pick. I have contended the entire time that holding on to the pick should be the ultimate goal. If you can get the pick, you've got a good roster, you've got a very good young player in Ace Bailey, get the pick, add on top. If it's 1st, awesome. If it's 8th, awesome. Just hold on to the pick. And now they're in a spot where that's going to be possible. In fact, it's insured. So that's going to be a very nice thing for the Jazz on lottery night to go in without even that creeping doubt that a 0.6% chance they could lose it. That's no longer the case. It is also kind of funny to look at it this way, is this is guaranteed to be the second best pick of this tanking stretch for the Utah Jazz. Now, Ace was 5, and maybe they can do better than 5, but Taylor Hendricks was 9 and Cody Williams was 10. This can't be 9 or 10. It has to be 8 or higher. So this is going to be the second highest lottery pick the Jazz have had over the last 4 seasons. And I think, honestly, this year's draft, and you never know, but this year's draft looks better than certainly the Cody Williams draft and the Taylor Hendricks draft outside of Victor Wembanyama was atop the Taylor Hendricks draft, but it got a little thinner towards the back of the or the middle section of the lottery. I think this year looks a little bit better. So we will see. But May 10th, 3 weeks from yesterday, is the draft lottery. So that's coming up right around the corner.
Hey, we do have some breaking NBA news, which I'm super excited about because one of my preseason predictions proved to be correct.
Okay.
In your face, Ben.
Oh, no.
Take that. I managed to predict that Victor Wembanyama would be the Defensive Player of the Year. And yes, it's official. He has been named that. And in fact, he is the first unanimous Defensive Player of the Year in the history of the league.
Did I not pick that?
Nope.
Did I say he wasn't going to play enough games?
No, I think you just didn't pick it.
I think I was assuming he was not going to play enough.
Ben, you predicted Dyson Daniels.
Good call.
Okay. How many games did Victor play? Did he play 65? He hit the absolute bare minimum. Why does this say 64? He didn't get an exemption. Like we saw for Cade and Luka. I think he played 65. I think Basketball Reference is wrong here. No, good for Victor. And by far the best defensive player on the planet. I mean, it's not, he impacts the game like nobody else. And while he had a very good offensive game as well, 35 points, he still is just such a game changer defensively. I do think it's interesting to watch the league respond by everybody trying to get bigger. And the Jazz did that with Jaren Jackson Jr. I certainly think they're going to chase it with Walker Kessler this offseason. I think size is going to be the name of the game going forward, and the Jazz have a lot of it, but Victor's going to be a handful as long as he's healthy moving forward. He's going to be one of the best, if not the best players in the NBA.
ESPN has him at 64, too.
Yeah. There's no way he only played 64.
I don't think so. Chet is number 2. He had 239 total points. You get 5 points for a first-place vote, 3 for second, 1 for third. And Victor got all of the first-place votes, so he had 500 points. Asar Thompson was third at 60. Rudolph at fourth with 41.
That's Rudy Gobert.
And then Scotty Barnes after that at 21.
Dyson Daniels got 3 total votes. 5
he did.
Points, so I wasn't that off.
1 second and 2/3.
I only lost by 495 points. Otherwise, pretty good.
Draymond Green still got a third-place vote. Come on. What clowns are they letting vote on this thing?
Yeah. And everybody. Yeah, every media member.
You give Draymond Green, old man Green, a third-place vote for
Draymond
Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah. I like that Warriors team that won 35 games.
There's not a chance that he is the third best defensive player on the planet.
No. Nobody can justify that vote.
Now, I admire his ability to go out there and old man it up during the game, but he is no longer the Draymond Green that he was. So who is giving him a vote?
I will be curious how the Jazz defend Victor going forward with Jaren, with Walker, with Lowry, with even Ace, who's going to probably draw some of these like switches and have to guard guys in the post. And he's pretty big. Ace is pretty big. I'll be curious. They should be as equipped as anybody to do this, because if you want to have Walker roam and put Jaren on him, you can do that. Or if you want to put Walker on him and have Jaren roam, he can come over as a shot blocker. There are some options the Jazz have here. Now, Victor is going to become somewhat unguardable as he has the ability to step out to the 3. But on the flip side, who is Victor going to guard? Is he going to have to guard Jaren because Jaren's sitting at the 3-point line? And then you've got a 7-footer who catches a lot of lobs in either Lowry or Walker Kessler. Or does he stay in the paint and then you have a guy like Jaren who can space the floor and shoot over anybody? It is not the worst design that I've, and I should say it more favorably. I think it's a nice design that the Jazz have.
I don't understand why teams don't play him more physically. You talk about that. I'd have Walker punch him in the kidney for the whole game. That's
the Kelly Olynyk.
No,
Bring in Kelly because Kelly knows his weak spots because
No.
he's practiced against him.
I always like that idea. But no, I'm talking about, if you want to talk about the Bosnian Beak, I'm talking about a giant player that's super heavy that just leans on Victor all game and makes it extremely difficult every time he catches the ball.
Teams have tried.
And maybe not Nurk, but a big guy who's going to play him physically.
No,
I don't
actually-
know why more teams don't do that because you're never going to block his shot. Screw rim protection. You're never going to block that thing. Walker and Jaren Jackson both are great, but what are you going to do?
Go back to the Jazz's best win of the season. Remember they beat the Detroit Pistons and the San Antonio Spurs back-to-back? They went on the road. It was the second night of a back-to-back and beat the Spurs in San Antonio. And it was because Nurk was insane in that game, if I remember correctly, because Wemby has a hard time with a 300-pound high-skill player, and there are not a lot of those guys either. So I wouldn't actually be surprised. Steven Adams conceivably should fit into this type of model. Now, it's hard to go out and chase him around the three-point line, but then again, if you're an NBA team, you probably want Victor out on the three-point line shooting threes anyways.
Absolutely you do. What do you want him out there shooting threes even though he's good, or just leaning in and dunking?
Yeah.
Doesn't even have to jump. He just kind of leans a little bit and then dunks on your head.
Yeah, Nurk had 16, 7, and 6 in 26 minutes, and the Jazz won 127, 114. Again, you can't solve Victor Wembanyama, but there are going to be more effective strategies than others, and I think having big, skilled, strong dudes is going to be a part of it who can also pull him out of the paint a little bit. And Nurk did that, and Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to be able to do that. Ideally, Lowry could do that, and I know neither of us are certainly waiting with bated breath about Walker's ability to step out and shoot the three a whole lot, but he flashed it at times, and if he does that, Jazz might be a weird matchup for him.
They don't need him to do that.
No, they don't.
You could make an argument before the Jaren Jackson Jr. trade. They kind of needed him to. I don't think you need him to do that.
Certainly not the top of his list.
Again, let's settle for 75% from the foul line.
Yeah, he shot 70% this year.
Yeah, he did.
It was 5 games, but it was a good
that doesn't count.
Start in the right direction.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, better than 50%.
All right, stay tuned. We have more NBA news we can get to. We've got live at 5 at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. Rules of the show at 5:30. Stay tuned. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Systems go. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson. Now, every day from 2 to 6 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, now 2 to 6, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It's time for the Rocky Mountain Chevy Play of the Weekend. Call in now, 801-575-ZONE with the Chevy Strong Play of the Week to win a $20 Amazon gift card with an impressive lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs. It's no wonder that people are switching to Chevy. Rocky Mountain Chevy Dealers, America's fastest growing full-line brand. Rocky Mountain Chevy Dealers. DJ and PK gave out the play this morning. If you know what that play is, be caller 12 right now, 801-575-ZONE. Other NBA news today, Ben?
Bad news if you're a fan of the Portland Trailblazers. This is honestly one of the weirder starts to an ownership group I've ever seen. If you missed it, you don't remember, Tom Dundon, who owns the Carolina Hurricanes of the NHL, recently bought the Portland Trailblazers from the Allen family after Paul Allen passed away. And he bought it for $4.25 million.
Okay.
Now, Dundon, this guy, has a net worth of $2 billion. So the math doesn't quite math there. He is living up to this persona of a cheapskate, of somebody who's worth $2 billion, buying a professional sports team for $4.25 billion. This first started to show up in a weird way. There were people in a hotel, and they were like, why are all these Portland Trailblazers people hanging out in the lobby of a hotel? Players included. But the entire staff.
Jeremy Grant's there at the coffee machine.
Jeremy Grant. Yeah. Damian Lillard, who was traveling with the team. He's hanging out there.
You're talking about Weber State's GM?
Exactly right. Dundon had them check out of their hotel rooms before the bus arrived to take them to the airport to avoid incurring another day's hotel room cost.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So he is not willing to foot the bill for a day's worth of hotels, and they're staying in 5-star hotels. I get it. But you're a billionaire taking care of the greatest athletes on the planet. Well, that's one sign. The next comes out that he has a perceived cap on how much he wants to pay the head coach of his team. NBA coaches, guys, make $7 to $10 million. I bet the low end, brand new, never done it before, bad team, not expected to do a lot, might make $5 million. He wants to pay $1.5 million or lower for his next head coach. $1.5 million is what assistant coaches make right now. The top assistant coaches make $1.5 million. He wants that to be the top for his head coaching job, which means you're just going to get a very bad coach, is the problem. Third, he has decided he doesn't want to travel two-way players to the playoffs to support the rest of the roster. Now, look, two-way players cannot play in the playoffs. You're basically, you only are on a regular season contract. They have to convert your deal. But Caleb Love, who's been a very good player for the Portland Trailblazers this year, and is trying to establish himself as one of the guys and somebody you want to have around, and being in the playoffs and understanding what it feels like, was left back to watch the game on his couch, to not be with the Portland Trailblazers as they're traveling. That's one of the other issues. And then they announced today in the latest move, this is stacking day after day after day, they announced that when the Portland Trailblazers return home for Game 3 and Game 4 of the playoffs, there will not be shirts for the fans to kind of show off that celebration, which the San Antonio Spurs did a very good job with their kind of retro 90s, 80s colors at their home game. Any one of those, maybe not the coach, $1.5 million, and honestly, the players not being able to stay in the hotel. Any one of those, though, by itself, I might be able to excuse. You stack up there of cost-cutting measures that way as a brand new owner is such a major red flag for me if I'm a fan of that team. And then you look back to what he did owning the Hurricanes, and he, kind of relevant to us, cut their radio cast for their games and only does a simulcast with TV, which is very old school. You know, that is what they used to do with Hot Rod, but certainly is not the case anymore. Everybody has radio talent in addition to your play-by-play broadcast on TV, because it's actually two very different jobs. If I'm watching it, I don't need you to tell me everything that's going on. If I'm listening to it, I need to hear everything, so they don't really work well together. But it sounds like there's a real cheapskate taking over in Portland, which is somewhat ironic because Paul Allen was one of the richest owners, if not the richest owner in all of sports before Steve Ballmer. And they're going to be on a shoestring budget, and that doesn't bode well. You might be able to get away with it some in the NHL. It's not going to play well in the NBA.
I think Allen was richer than Ballmer.
You're probably right.
So I don't care about the two-way guys. Who cares about that? That's just dumb. That feels like somebody finding
now,
something to freak out about.
Nobody else does this. Everybody else travels their two-way players.
I know, but I don't care about that. The hotel thing is interesting. Just to make this local, do you think Ryan Smith requires the Jazz to make money to have cash flow?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Mark Davis has to have cash flow.
Yes, owner of the Raiders.
And because he doesn't have, I pick Mark just because he doesn't have any other streams of income. He's just the owner of the Raiders. That's where his money lies. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but sports organizations, we've talked about it, it's the world's greatest place to park extreme amounts of money. What it doesn't do is give you a yearly dividend.
Correct. It doesn't give you walking around cash.
It doesn't give you walking. People don't realize that, because that was always the criticism of Larry, and I think it was kind of Larry Miller, and I think it was kind of unfair. They said he just made the playoffs every year because that's where his profit came from, and he didn't care about investing that profit in the team to get them to a championship. He just cared about the playoffs. And what's true in that criticism is that is where they make their because they budget, and they have to, because of the collective bargaining agreement, for all the revenue made during the regular season is all spoken for.
Yeah.
In fact, 48% goes to the players off the top. That is before.
Might be higher now. Yeah.
No, I think
whatever. Neither here nor
Derek
there.
Fisher lost 2 points, and it went from 50-50 to players get 48. So 48% of the revenue is automatically going to the players, and that's teams that are at the salary cap. Then you're talking about operating costs and employees and all this stuff. And Ben, basically most franchises break even at best.
Year to year.
Year to year, at best. And the value comes in when you eventually sell the team. But if you're looking at it as, wow, we've got to stay cash positive, that's rough. It's rough. And so if you see a new owner who's all of a sudden doing this because he's worried about being cash flow positive or worried about cash flow in general, I would agree with you. It's a bad sign.
It's a really bad sign.
But isn't this the same bozo that created that stupid league that had the Stallions?
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I think you're right.
This is that same bozo who decided that was a good idea, and I'm sure he lit a bunch of money on fire. I mean, so...
Look, he's off to a rough start. He came in, remember, he pressured the local government there to pay for renovations for, was it the Rose Garden up there? I don't know if it's still what it's called.
It's the Moda Center.
The Moda Center, because there was a real threat that they were going to move out of Portland. But he got them to rally and spend the money to pay for this arena to keep it in Portland, not to rebuild, not to build an entirely new one. This is a bad sign. And look, Portland sports right now is not super healthy, which is really good news for the state of Utah because it's probably going to be why we end up getting a Major League Baseball team in the next few years. Portland would have been the other location, and it's just a bit of a wreck. And now whatever money they did have is going to the Moda Center, the former Rose Garden. If he's going to be cheap, Portland is not a destination for players. It's a very cool sports town. It's a has cool basketball history. It seems to always have like a very cool player there, and Damian Lillard's certainly captained that ship for a while, minus a couple of years in Milwaukee. If you've got a bad owner, people aren't going to go play in Portland. There's no reason to. And that's unfortunate because it's a cool city, it's a cool team historically, and a bad owner might ruin it.
Well, they've been out to screw over the Jazz for years, so I'm sure most Jazz fans don't feel bad about that.
Paul Millsap.
Yeah. Stay tuned. We have Live at 5:05 coming up next. Then rules of the show at 5:30. Stick around. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's the best station, period. Let's be honest. These guys have the best job on the planet.
You come to work in a frickin' bathrobe?
So if you're out there working hard, you should also expect your radio hosts to put in an honest day's work. So, of course, Jake and Ben are live at 5 with the biggest headlines and the best analysis in Utah. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It's time for Live at 5:05. We know right after you get out of work and jump into the car to go home, you want to know the latest and the biggest stories, and we will give both of them to you at 5:05 every single day. Ben, we go to, of course, KSLSports.com, where we have the staff and the resources to cover everything. So we want to give you the latest story at KSLSports.com, which is a banger put out by our boy Cole Bagley, talking about Sean Dursey, Ben, fined by NHL Department of Player Safety for headbutting Rasmus Andersson. And that is the latest at KSLSports.com. Good news is the biggest story of the day, the Utah Mammoth and their playoff run, playoff sports, back in Salt Lake City. They trail Las Vegas. The Golden Knights 1-0. By the way, Dursey's fine, did I mention, at $5,000 is the maximum fine under the new CBA. So the latest and biggest stories related today, Ben.
All the markers of a first game for a NHL team, and not an expansion franchise, but a team that A, has never played in Utah before, and then B, has never made the playoffs since being in Utah. And a lot of these players have never played in the postseason. I don't think that's letting them off the hook, but some early jitters, playing very quickly early on, settling in, finding their groove, and then not really knowing how to close. I think that actually is not that crazy of a storyline. I think that's not that uncommon. But that doesn't mean that they didn't find themselves behind 1-0, despite the fact that they were trailing after the first period, trailing after the second period, and had put themselves in an opportunity to wrestle back home ice advantage.
Is offense going to be a problem? Cooley had the first goal, great goal, had a little offense, and then it just disappeared. Their second goal was an accident. And the third period, they just got roughed up. We can combine it. Is offense/physical play going to be a fatal flaw?
My guess is no. I think they're going to be able to score in this series. I would be surprised. And again, the Stenlund goal was fluky. And then, part of hockey is puck luck. No question about it. You're not going to see one that fluky again. I think they're going to generate better chances. I would expect Keller to come out and play better. I would expect Schmaltz to come out and play better. I thought sometimes they passed it far too often. They need to be a little bit more aggressive, and that's where I really liked what Dylan Guenther did and what Logan Cooley did, and the rest of the team needs to adopt that. So I think they're going to score. I do think they are going to have to find a way to get the puck out of the D zone, stop allowing Vegas to just control possession, and especially if the Mammoth find themselves down. And that's where I would worry about this team. If they find themselves trailing, I don't know if they're going to be able to come back because a very big, slow, physical team can just sit on the puck. And that's really what it felt like. They got the momentum in the third period, did Vegas, and then just held on to it and ran away with it, and the Mammoth got worn down. And where I would also worry about this is if we get to a Game 5, Game 6, Game 7, are the Mammoths just decimated? Physically, are they not able to hold up against a much bigger roster?
Logan Cooley, who I think looks like Stevie Weeks, had his life threatened. What was that guy's name again? Dowd. Threatened his life. Said, I will kill you, with a word in the middle.
Correct. But he actually yelled, Cooley, I'm going to kill you, which is crazy.
How many times have you been threatened like that?
A handful a week, but yeah, I don't take it as seriously as a guy with blades on his feet and big stick in his hands.
Like when you were your skate team took over the library one day, people
the
come
scooter parents would threaten to kill me all the time.
Would chase you off.
I actually did have a grandfather. Thought I said something to his grandson one time. I didn't, but he thought I said something. And he said, if you ever say that to my grandson again, I'll kill you.
Yeah. Speaking of grandfather, Dowd is 35 years old.
Okay.
He's threatened a 21, 22-year-old in Logan Cooley.
And Dowd's a nobody, and Cooley's upcoming star, and the Mammoth will protect Cooley at all costs.
I think they should have Dowd arrested. I think they should. I think he should press charges. Can you just walk around like that old man that threatened you? Can you just walk
LVPD.
around threatening to kill people? I don't think you can.
I didn't call the police.
If you walked into the hallway and threatened to kill Salazar right now.
We'll explain who Salazar coming up in 20 minutes.
You'd be hauled out in...
I'm with you.
You'd be hauled out in cuffs.
Well, something happens when you get between the lines or on the ice. No holds barred.
Well, here's Logan Cooley talking about sticking up for his teammates.
There's going to be there's going to be guys that grab you and try to bring you into the fight, and you got to make sure you're sticking up for each other, getting each other's back, and I think we did a good job of that, handling that the right way, and just got to make sure we're controlling our energy too.
As non-existent as the top line was, and didn't get anything from Keller, didn't get anything from Schmaltz, didn't get anything from Krauser, I thought Cooley was equally good. As bad as the top line was, I thought Cooley showed up extraordinarily well, and I actually thought Gunther played very well. Also, with that second line, I thought his ability to generate good looks is a good sign, and that's where I think this team is going to be able to score. And I would be surprised if you're able to shut out Keller and Schmaltz entirely. I think they will find some momentum at some point. But I thought Cooley showing up was a really good sign. The fact that he's got the playoff stuff. He's got what it takes to play at this level. Because as you said, you think he looks like Stevie Weeks from Mystery Alaska.
From Mystery Alaska, yeah.
Who's a 15-year-old who's playing on the men's league or whatever
like
it is.
16 or 17.
He's a kid. And Cooley looks like a kid. And Cooley is not enormous yet. He's getting bigger. You can already tell his shoulders are like bigger than they were even a year ago when he was playing with the Utah Hockey Club. He's getting bigger. He's going to be just fine. But his game translates well. And I think that's a positive regardless of what happens in this series. But no, man, they've got to play better. As much as we can say it's just about making the playoffs and you wanted to get there and that was part of the goal. Now you're here. Now there's a new season has begun and you can't just be happy that you got the invite. I think it's now time to take advantage.
You kind of have had like a baby face throughout your life.
Mm-hmm.
I've had something similar. Has it been challenging? Do you have a tough time getting people, or did you? I shouldn't say. You look like a grizzled vet now in your 40s.
Thank you.
You're not quite there yet, right?
Mm-mm.
Next month? 2 months?
June.
But back in your 20s,
I'll become grizzled in June.
Back in your 20s, did you struggle with that?
Yeah. So yeah, people are surprised I'm 39.
Christian is 19 and looks like he's 56.
Correct.
So he does not.
Well, he's been smoking since he was 8 years old. He started a Facebook page and he started smoking the same month when he was 8.
His mom got him on Facebook at 7 and he already had a beard.
He found out the marketplace you can buy tobacco, unfiltered tobacco, and
sell it to your friends.
Yeah, he looks like an old catcher's mitt. But yeah, I've dealt with the opposite problem though.
But seriously, Logan Cooley looks like he's going to walk down to Tuxedo Junction to rent one for his
But you know
prom.
what? You know why that might be the case?
It's going to be tough to battle it, though.
No,
You've got old geezers threatening to kill you because he looks like a little kid.
That's the thing. You saw him already leaving the ice, and Dowd got the worst of it, but because Dowd was bleeding from his face. you saw Cooley after the game. I mean, he just had red marks and bumps all over his face. Like, he's going to earn his hockey face because he's going to be the guy they're trying to beat up on the ice, because I think they recognize very quickly this is the most dangerous dude we're going to face in this series. Logan Cooley's the best player we're going to face, and we're going to do everything we can to take him out of it. And that's what Vegas's approach is going to be. And guess what? Coming into the next game, the Mammoth are going to beat up Stone or Eichel or Marner, and I don't mean fist fight, though clearly that's not off the table. They're going to try and rough these guys up too, and they're going to make sure that they feel it, because Vegas did a very good job making Logan Cooley feel them throughout this game, and it's why he left with, the beat-up face and having his life threatened. And I think that is what playoff hockey is about. I know the Vegas Golden Knights are particularly hated by NHL fans across the entire league, so I don't think this is new that they're a villain, but clearly they're comfortable leaning into it, and Cooley's going to be their target. So Cooley's going to have to prove that he can belong, and day one, I thought he did. Game one, I thought he showed his value.
I tell you what, hockey players are something else. I mean that from a good thing. I've got, because of course I've got Cole's great write-up on Sean Dursey and his fine, and I'm just rewatching the video of the headbutt.
The headbutt's great.
Where he goes at it, because he doesn't have a helmet on, and he headbutts the other guy. Do you remember when Deion Sanders and Andre Rison got in that slap fight in the NFL? You and I have, like, they're standing away from each other, like slapping themselves in the helmet, and you just can't help but rolling your eyes. Every fight in the NBA is a hold me back. I mean, it's a complete joke. Hockey players are out here headbutting them without helmets on.
There was a fight
That Dursey is a crazy
the game
man.
started. McBain got into it before the game started.
Was he out there headbutting people without a helmet?
And then Sergachev was in it after the game. And then the first time out, I think they were tackling. I mean, it was every 6 minutes on the ice, there was at least 4 people involved in fights. And let's see if Familka throws the gloves down and meets Hart at center ice.
I honestly don't need the fights. And, Dursey headbutting someone without a helmet is pretty cool. But you have to have an edge. I mean, I think however that manifests itself, I think that's part of the Mammoth problem. I think they need to figure out where their edge is, because they are not the bigger team. They are not the more physical team in a game that rewards that physicality. Now, does the speed win out and the Bear figure out a way to scheme it so the speed becomes more of a factor in this series? I don't know. But I gotta imagine, the captain, Clayton Keller's got to figure out a way to be more physical. That first line has to figure out a way to be better.
I do think you're right. I don't think you can fall into the trap of fighting so often that you're playing 4-on-4. Now, 4-on-4 may be advantageous for the Mammoths because they are quicker and you get more space. They are going to look a little bit better there. But I do think one of the areas you may need to be cautious or wise is see if you can draw fights without getting into fights. Because if you can put yourself in the man advantage with a power play, because Vegas, this is clearly Vegas's design. Vegas wants to fight. They want to beat you up. They're bigger than you are.
So how do you not play into it?
So don't play into it. Let them fight you. Have them draw the penalty. Get the man advantage and see if you can build a lead that way. I do think there is actually something to that the Mammoth might be able to use in their favor before the end of this series. But we'll see. It's big. This is game one. We'll see. I'm going to give them room to certainly recover. They haven't been here before. They didn't play particularly well. I thought some of the veterans were more disappointing than they should have been. We'll see if they're able to bounce back. But this is going to be the name of the game going forward. And if you don't have the size or you don't know how to fight it, it's going to be a short series, but a painful one.
Tonight in the Stanley Cup Playoffs, Philly and Pittsburgh are already underway, just in the first period, about 13 and a half to go. 0-0 scoreless tie. The other games coming up tonight, starting at 5:30, the Senators are at the Hurricanes, game 2. Carolina leads that 1-0. The Stars play host to the Wild at 7:30. Minnesota with a 1-0 advantage in that series. And then game 1 of the Oilers and the Ducks from Edmonton is at 8 o'clock.
Game 1? Everyone else has already played. Why did they get such a good break?
I don't know. The Mighty Ducks have a cool logo. Maybe that's it.
Get Bettman on the phone.
Come on, Gare. Saturdays
and Sundays, buddy.
What are you doing, bro?
Monday, game 1? I don't like it.
But Connor McDavid in the nightcap.
No, I'm curious. I'm curious to watch these, and I've watched some of the games over the weekend already. I was a little more glued to the NBA playoffs, admittedly, but I want to see if the physicality matches what we saw from the Mammoth and the Golden Knights. And in some areas it has, some areas it's not. I do think that was a uniquely aggressive game.
I always kind of like the Penguins.
Okay, said the kid.
Did you guys watch the lead-in before last night's Mammoth game, the Buffalo and Boston?
By the Bruins. Up 2-0 with 8 minutes to go and gave up 4 straight. One of them was an empty netter, right? But 4 straight.
I got a good buddy who's
3 within 2 minutes. It was oof.
Who's a huge Sabres fan who I saw yesterday because my daughter was over playing with his daughter. And he was like on cloud 9 because the Sabres were supposed to suck. Now they're the best team in the East.
Yep.
Did you see the snowball riot in Buffalo?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
very
cool.
cool.
I mean, we keep coming back to this, but they've got to build that here with the the NHL community, and as excited as everybody gets, and these markets where these teams have been there forever, and everybody the care factor is through the roof. And actually, I'd throw Vegas, or they're starting to be in that category, as they're off to a good start as a franchise. I think it's something that people around here can get into.
Hey, man.
The culture of it all. And I think it's important to experience this playoff run. The Mammoth need to rattle off a couple of wins to get people to really feel it. But
I totally agree. But Utah fans are going to show up. Utah fans are nasty. They're nasty at Jazz games. They're nasty at Utah games. They're nasty at BYU games. We talk about Utah State and the home court advantage they have in basketball specifically. These are rowdy fan bases that will get excited about this. And if you start building up the pressure that we saw come from Game 1 in Vegas, if that carries over to Game 2, which we know it's going to, then you have 3 days off before they play on Friday night here in Salt Lake City at Delta Center. Utah fans are going to turn up, and they're going to turn out. It's going to be really, really a difficult environment, I'm sure, for Vegas because the Delta Center is still good, and hockey more than ever, it is right on top of you. We used to talk about how the Jazz were right on top of you. Those hockey bleachers are steep right behind the goalies, so it's going to be a very explosive environment. It's going to be a fun one to watch.
you know what I always kind of liked about the Maverick Center? My buddies and I used to go over there and sit right behind the goalie and yell at him. Mm-hmm. And the crowd was light enough that the goalie could hear us. And I tell you what, they switched sides for the second period, and when he came back in the third, we just kept right on it, and he just looked at us and shook his head, and it was like, I don't know what to tell you. His last name was Flaherty. I still remember it to this day. You suck, Flaherty!
Guy's making $22 an hour.
Oh yeah, playing AA hockey.
Yeah, I had to drive here.
Yeah, we let him know it was AA.
I had to pay
too.
for parking.
Flaherty had a rough day that day. Tell you what. All right, coming up next, rules of the show. Listen, we've Ben and I have been doing the show during the midday from 10 to noon since 2021. And we've created some rules, and now we're moving to a different time slot where hopefully we're taking our wonderful midday listeners and we're adding to them. So we thought we'd go over the rules of the show coming up next. Now, I have prepared this. Ben has not seen my visual aid. He will be
okay.
You will be participating, but there is a visual component. So I would encourage folks to get to KSLSports.com or get to your KSL Sports app or go to our YouTube page and consume the show visually, at least for the next segment. And Maddie assured me we'll get it up online. So if you're still driving, you'll be able to watch it later.
Okay.
I thought if it goes well, it might be something helpful to like pin so people can figure out what the rules are.
Okay.
We'll get to that. Coming up next, Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Not only do these guys give you the best Jazz coverage in the market, they've got you covered with the Mammoth, the Cougars, the Utes, and the Aggies. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's the Jake and Ben Show, now 2 to 6, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson, thank you for listening, for absorbing the show. Is that what we settled on?
Yeah, if you want to watch it on YouTube, or you want to listen to it live, or you want to take in the podcast, or maybe you just want to sit on a speaker and just let the sound waves run through you, you're absorbing the show.
You are. Shout out to our friends in the future, the podcast people, the streamers, and the video streamers, which will play a role here, Ben. All right, so we're going to go over the rules of the show. We've been doing the show since 2021, and we've formed some rules. I have it broken down into 3 basic rules, Ben. But what I've done is I prepared, as you can see here, a visual aid.
Okay.
Now, I've really blown it out on the technology front, as you can tell. Now, Ben, here's the rule. Here's a rule of this segment, okay? No referring to the visual aid. It is a visual aid. It is to be consumed visually. It is not for our audio listeners.
Am I using the visual aid?
You are the one flipping the pages.
Okay,
yes.
and this is the last we're going to tear about. Am I ripping or
no,
flipping?
Just flip them, and I will tell you. All right. I will tell you when to flip. I have my notes here.
I'm going to tell you, I like the sound of ripping paper on live radio, so this is a little disappointing, but okay.
And where is his glasses?
I
He
knew that
can't
was
see
coming.
without his glasses.
All right.
Two of you guys are wearing glasses
and
now.
By the way, just in case you were wondering, yes, they are Tom Ford's.
Yeah.
So
Part of a former bit that Jake killed because we bullied him.
Throwing that out there, but I do. I've got notes. I've got a whole segment
good.
planned, and I've got to do this.
You
so
like John Gruden more than ever.
All right. So we have our visual aid, and Ben, I will tell you when to flip it.
Okay.
Okay. Rule number 1 is like that.
Like that?
Obviously. If you're new to the show, anytime one of us or a guest or
a sound drop,
if you say like that, this is going to happen.
Are we giving the backstory on this?
Now, yes. Now, people ask where that has come from. And if you'll go ahead and flip the page there, Ben, go ahead and flip. I'll just tell you when. It was inspired by maybe the world's greatest play-by-play call in history.
One more gone but not forgotten, and that's our sweet Lucy. At the age of 12, she was run over in our driveway.
Oh, like that? Was she run over like that?
Was she run over like that?
Like that?
Like that?
So listen, I don't know about you, Ben, but this happens to me. I like that people in my personal life. You know, if you're walking around liking that,
like that,
in your personal life to people you know, then we have truly won.
I will tell you, you have ruined the Zach Lowe podcast for me. I really like the Zach Lowe show on The Ringer. It's a good basketball podcast. I think he does really good work. He says that 55 times in an hour-long podcast. He says it over and over and over, and every time I hear it, I hear our like that drop.
Go ahead and flip that. So the rule, if you're new, if somebody says like that, go ahead and flip that, Ben.
This one too?
Mm-hmm.
Like that?
You know how it works. Rule number 2, Ben. Learn the language. Go ahead and flip that. We have many different code word language. It's always evolving, and I don't know if we're going to be able to get to them all. But go ahead and flip that. First, we'll just give out some examples. All right. First example, Ben, one of my favorites, and I'm listing it first, fingernails. Caleb Williams, the former USC quarterback, wrote F Utah on his fingernails.
Yep.
From that day forward, he's been known as fingernails.
We talk about him a lot.
Considering he plays quarterback for the Bears now.
That's Ben's favorite team.
It is Ben's favorite team.
And I said they should have taken him over Christian's favorite team. And pick 6, Bo Nix, throw picks.
Next up, Ben, hot dog. Taylor Horton Tucker, the former Jazz man. We gave him the nickname Hot Dog. It might be my favorite nickname that I've ever come up with, is because his style of play was always hot dogging it. And now he will forever be my example of a really crappy player that dribbled way too much and thought he was good.
Now, Christian has not reached this stage of parenthood yet because his son is 17 days old. But at one point, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse will enter your life, and it won't leave your life for 24 to 36 months. And you're going to hear that song, hot dog, hot diggity dog, every day for 24 to 36 months, and it will never leave you. But that was the name, yes, of THT, Taylor Horton Tucker, Mr. Hot Dog himself.
Hot dogging it.
He was hot dogging it out there.
All right, next. I like this one as a current example. Phil. Kyle Filipowski. Now, how that was born, a lot of people call him Flip. I'm sitting, shout out to Coach Lacombe, now on with Scotty G, 10-2. And Coach accidentally called him Phil. He's like, wow, did you see that move from Phil? And I thought to myself, way better.
We got a new name.
Are you kidding me? Phil? All right, go ahead. Next one. Up next, I would say the sommelier. That is J.J. Redick, who got his job because he did a wine podcast with LeBron.
Yes. For between 6 to 8 episodes, maybe.
Maybe.
Probably not that many, but they just got on a podcast. They loosened up a little bit with a couple of bottles of wine because that's an NBA thing, is really fancy old bottles of wine. And maybe a drunken promise, LeBron told J.J. Redick, you can be my forever sommelier.
After a bottle and a half of a buttery Pinot.
Yeah, something. Whatever.
Like, hey, I'd like you to be my coach.
I really like you. You're the next head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers.
All right, that brings us to our next one, which is really important, and that would be Salazar.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Turn
Flip.
the page.
Now, Salazar is our nickname for Lloyd Cole.
Why is that?
Because Lloyd, his mom is from Portugal. Lloyd is Portuguese.
Yeah.
His mom's from a beautiful island off the mainland of Portugal, and I would love to go there someday. But Lloyd also, his management style. Lloyd is the boss, the program director, and let's just say he runs the place with an iron fist.
More than a tight ship, the way a dictator would.
And a famous Portuguese dictator. His name was Antonio de Oliveira Salazar.
Thus, you've named
Lloyd
Salazar.
So
when we talk about Salazar, that's what we're talking about.
He was basically the dictator in the 60s and 70s.
Okay.
So Salazar equals Lloyd Cole.
Lloyd Cole.
All right, next. Adele, Ben. She is our code name for Rich Paul and Clutch.
Entirely. Yeah, all of Clutch's management throughout sports.
Now explain why that is.
Adele is engaged or dating Rich Paul, who runs Clutch Sports. LeBron's friend growing up, started the agency, and now controls probably 10 to 15% of the NBA. But as long as you control LeBron, you control the league. And if you control Rich Paul, you control the world. And Adele controls all of it.
Because Rich Paul famously twists arms. And if you're going to have somebody call up and twist some arms, you saying no to Adele? I didn't think so. All right. Then the next one, this one might be the most important.
Okay.
Flip. Cats in the wall, Ben.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Cat in the wall, eh?
This is the longest we've ever gone on the show without bringing up this exact phrase.
Cats in the wall.
This is the first time we're saying this on this episode.
Now, it's pretty funny. We once got feedback from a listener who said that he pulled out cats in the wall in his personal life, and I can't remember if his wife or girlfriend was like, what does that even mean?
What are you talking about?
And he said, well, I don't really know. And then asked us to explain. And it basically was born on an episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Dee, doesn't matter. If you've never seen the show, it doesn't really matter.
She's the lone woman.
Dee gets a cat stuck in her wall. There's a cat in her wall, and it's driving her crazy. Charlie comes over, and he says, cat in the wall, eh? And then decides to help her figure out how to get her cat out of the wall.
But what is his solution?
Every solution he comes up with, and it's like 7 or 8 solutions, every single one of them requires or basically consists of putting another cat in the wall.
Every solution includes another cat in the wall.
Until there's like 20 cats at the end of the episode.
Thus, this has become shorthand for every time somebody tries to fix a problem and just makes it worse, which, as we have realized, whether it's the NBA draft lottery, tanking rules, NFL stuff, replays specifically, every solution that anybody comes up with, basically anywhere in the world, but really in sports, is a cat in the wall. There's already a cat there. You're trying to fix it, and your only solution is to put another one in there.
It describes so much of what the NBA does.
Over and over.
That's our number one
You will
example.
hear cat in the wall a lot on this show.
Well, this offseason, as they get flatten the lottery odds or whatever, that's a big meowing cat going right into the wall. Not going to fix anything. And in fact, makes it worse. All right, Ben, flip that over, and this is your segment. What am I forgetting? What else would you like to add?
Okay, you mentioned it a little bit. There is a song which you have to stick around for to hear. Now, we apparently did get some complaints about our 4 o'clock segment where we played a lot of music.
We didn't
from
get any
Jake's band.
complaints.
Apparently, there
talking
actually
about?
were quite a few of people not loving the 4 o'clock segment, which was a musical segment. It was very music heavy. That is not going to be every day at 4. There is, though, one part of our show where Jake's band steps in every single day, and it used to be 11:45. Now it is going to be 5:45, 5:55, essentially. Is that when we're playing it? Okay. You will hear another part of Jake's band. Now, it is the sign that that hour is coming to an end, specifically the 5 o'clock hour is coming to an end. And it's called Island Living. And nobody actually knows the Island Vibes, and nobody actually knows the lyrics to it. Though we think it says Two Amigos. You think you know what it means.
It does.
Okay,
It says-
Two Amigos.
On the airwaves.
Talking sports.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to hear the words. It's led to some real controversy apparently online. But that's what it says. So that would be the only other rule I guess I would add off the top of my head.
I feel like there's a bunch of other names, but I tried to hit some relevant ones.
I think that's totally fair.
You mentioned the clinic.
Talked about Armpit.
We did.
Talked about Rudolph.
We did
earlier in the show.
Yeah. So
We talked about Adele. There are a few that I won't remember our rules until we get to them. But yes, there are. Jake has a language unto his own that I have adopted. I'm fluent. I want you to become fluent as a listener, and you will.
Rule number 2, learn the language.
Learn the language.
Let's move on to rule number 3. Go ahead, Ben.
Oh, there's another. We're still going.
Rule number 3.
Uh-oh.
If you have something to say, call in.
Yes.
If you have something to say, we have a call-in feature on our KSL Sports app. You click that, you can record your beautiful voice, and then you can send it to us, and we will go ahead and play it.
Ben, you're such a freaking
Go ahead and
bozo.
flip that, Ben.
Yes.
That's
Excellent.
right. And go ahead and flip that again.
Okay.
And we have another one.
I finally get to call Jake Scott a bozo.
I didn't like that last one.
Okay.
No, I didn't like that.
Next page?
No, we could.
Okay.
But anyway, so use that call-in feature, and also go ahead and flip it. Remember the rules. Rule number 1.
Salazar.
Hey, don't talk about it.
Oh.
Rule number 1. Like that.
Like that?
Rule number 2. Learn the language. Rule number 3. If you've got something to say, call in. And those are the rules of the show.
You're going to hear bozo a lot. Bozo's a go-to insult that we have that actually flipped on us because Jake and I, but you, and I'm just going to throw Steve Bartle under the bus because I can. You guys went after Texas Tech with the fury of 1,000 suns, saying that they had no chance to win anything, specifically you more than Steve. This was going to be a bad football team. They've never done anything right. Even when they had Pat Mahomes, they couldn't figure out a way to win games. And we have a listener to our show, at least the midday show, the former show, who was also a BYU and Texas Tech fan. And I don't know how he spread the word to everybody in Texas Tech. But while you were on vacation, I caught that fury for 3 straight days of Texas Tech fans livid, thinking that, I was the other voice on this clip that went viral, when really it was Steve Bartle, and had to answer for why you were calling everybody in Lubbock, Texas a bozo. People think it was me because they look at the name Jake and Ben, not Jake and Bartle, and I caught the heat for it.
Steve, Bartle me this.
And that came back to bite us because Texas Tech not only had a good team, they won the league, beat both BYU and Utah, beat BYU twice, and got stomped in the playoffs to bring back their bozo behavior. But yes, that's kind of it's not the first time we used bozo.
It is not.
But that's where it really peaked.
The reason we picked it is because I love a good insult, but people are so sensitive these days. And clown is such a great insult because it's not really that bad. And bozo is a specific clown.
Yes.
Clown means unserious person, and it's a great insult.
And
so I love to use it.
Toilet take Mike, what was his name? Ryan, Toilet Take Ryan called me a bozo. I can't remember.
You're such a freaking
I
bozo.
can't remember what he was mad at me for. He was
It was
mad.
the
Because
Harlan
I thought
thing.
Mark Harlan kicking the door down and taking over a Utah postgame show is the single funniest thing that's ever happened at the University of Utah, and I celebrated it. And I hope he does it after every game.
Defended Mark's behavior.
With my life, I'll die on the hill that Mark Harlan's never made a better decision in his life than to A, storm the field mid-game during a kickoff return, and then B, hijack a press conference.
Uh-huh.
That was amazing. And then Toilet Take Ryan called me a
You're
bozo.
such a freaking bozo.
It was very apt.
Can I close this?
Uh-huh.
All right.
What did you think of the visual aid?
I wouldn't expect anything less from you.
I thought it was pretty good.
Do you own a color printer? Or did you
Yes.
have to go to Kinko's to do this?
No, I own a color printer.
Okay. Fancy.
All right, there are your rules of the show. Stay tuned.
There's one more. You'll hear it next.
More Jacob Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Systems go. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson. Now, every day from 2 to 6 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Two amigos on the airwaves, talking sports. They got him made Jake's on soul. Loves his tie guy. Ben's got style with his scarves. Oh my.
What in the world are we listening to? Whose idea was it to play this music during the time that I drive home from work? Please, make it stop. I'm going to turn the channel away.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, Nick.
Shout out Nick. Not a fan of Jake's band.
No, listen to this jam. What does Nick know? Now I feel like I don't know, somebody who's put out a bad album lately. I feel like I don't know. I feel like
people didn't like Lord's latest album. You feel like Lord.
Yeah, like you put out some new stuff and people just kill it.
People turn their back on you.
Like Taylor's latest wasn't great, right?
Here's the truth. We're going to do a lot of segments. We're going to do a lot of shows.
A lot of songs.
We also
Get
don't
ready,
want to lie
Nick.
to you. We want you to know what the show's about. We're not gonna pull the wool over your eyes. Occasionally, not all the time, there's gonna be music.
It's gonna be fun. The vibe of the show, Ben. For new listeners who listen in, we try to have fun. It's a fun deal. It doesn't mean that Ben and I don't disagree. It doesn't mean that we don't have it out like you and your friends when we're breaking down sports and having takes and all that good stuff. But you and I both, even when we're disagreeing, we enjoy each other's company, and hopefully that translates to the listeners out there, because we try to keep it light. We're definitely not condescending know-it-alls, and I think a lot of sports radio kind of falls into condescending know-it-all territory, and that's not the show that we want to do.
Speak for yourself. But no, we have a fun show. We have a good,
and that's all the funny, goofy rules.
Yes, there's going to be some bits. There's going to be some silliness, and there's also going to be plenty of serious sports talk.
I can't do a break it down 4-hour show. I can't do it like that.
No.
I just can't.
Like that?
No. It's going to be something for everybody. So we appreciate it. Honestly, this is excited for the future. Talking to Christian during the break about how exciting this is and how fun this is. And, big part of this also, Christian being made full-time. We're excited about Christian's, the company's investment in Christian, too, because he's invested a lot in us. So
Can't do a boring show. My wife is not going to like if I come home like that. She's not going to like that one bit.
Like that?
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to say like that until Nick sends in a call in that's mad about that too.
He will.
Which, honestly,
we have got complaint emails about you.
Oh, did somebody, what was our guy's name? Russ, who blasted me to the whole company.
Russell.
Who complained about me using bozo.
He replied all.
That I was the smartest guy, and I always thought I was the smartest guy in the room.
Replied said something about you yelling.
And I yell too much, and I yell all the time.
Yeah. He just sent it to @KSL Sports.
Send it to everybody. Just light this guy up.
Why does Jake yell?
The CEO of Bonneville Media was
That
like,
happens
what
as
is
well.
this?
Yeah.
Who's screaming about bozos all the time?
Gotta get this
I gotta
Jake
look
guy
into
off
this.
the air.
Seriously.
Or double the time of the show.
Back to rule number 3, though, in our rules segment. Call in. Shout out to Nick. You know what? You can call in. You can criticize. You can make jokes. You can call us bozos. Whatever. We love it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Part of the show. I've been called worse by better. And frankly,
I finally get to call Jake Scott a bozo.
yeah, you're darn right. Who was that? I forgot. Days C. Shout out to Days C. Bring it on. But in all seriousness, not above criticism
Absolutely.
or poking fun at ourselves, or even I get to take shots at Ben with a sign during a visual aid.
And you did.
And I did.
No feelings going home injured.
We're going to get that up online. So if you didn't have a chance, if you heard it but did not see it, go check it out. And we've got, we forgot somebody on the YouTube. Was it Angie on YouTube who said we should have explained what you got Wednesday?
Do you think that was my wife? Probably.
Shout out to Angie.
Yeah.
Whoever, that Angie, your wife Angie, all the Angies that are listening, we appreciate you. I bet we've got 5 Angies listening.
Okay. Wow. I don't think I've met 5 Angies in my life.
Maybe 6.
Okay.
Well, we cover a wide swath now. We're on in the 5 o'clock hour.
We do.
How many Angies do you think listen? Or do you think
just said 5.
No, do you think live in the radius of
I think it used
the
to be
signal?
a really popular name, and it died with Lansbury.
But there's got to be like 1,000 Angies in the area, right? And I got to think we got 0.5 of that listening.
I think there was always one in every class I was in. Not every class, but every grade. There was always an Angie. I grew up with one, then went to junior high and high school, and then I wed to one. So.
Is her real name Angela?
Mm-hmm.
She looks more like an Angie than an Angela.
All right.
Does that sound weird?
Keep critiquing my wife, whatever you want to do.
That's not a critique. Shout out to Angela. She's just an Angie. She's not an Angela.
All right. Just an Angie.
Just an Angie. That doesn't sound right either. Shout out to Angie. Yeah, I messed it up. All right, stay tuned. More coming up next, 6 o'clock hour, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Your home for the best sports radio for your afternoon drive is right here. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Wrapping up Jake and Ben and our new time slot, Ben, Jake Scott, Ben Anderson, moving to the afternoons. And day number 1 in the books. I only got my feelings hurt several times. And I'm going to go home and cry. Nick didn't like my music segment.
Yeah, well, Nick will make it up to you tomorrow at 4 o'clock when you're driving home. We'll do less music. Not no music, but maybe a little bit less music. We get to take credit for the Jazz winning the lottery on our first day moving to the afternoons?
No.
Okay. Well, the Jazz did, though. That's probably...
Well, they won the coin toss.
They won the coin
but
toss.
Why would we have anything to do with that?
I don't know. How does anything in the lottery work? It's all luck. It's all something in the universe. Butterfly effect.
Is it luck?
Yeah, I don't know. But that is the big story of today. Now, obviously, the Mammoth falling behind 1-0 in their playoff series is probably the bigger news story total. But the Jazz are guaranteed now to hold on to their lottery pick. And, as we mentioned earlier in the show, this is going to be at least, at worst, the second highest draft pick the Jazz have had during this rebuild because it's guaranteed now to be top 8.
I've had the hot take that the Jazz are actually truly a team that can draft for the best player available. Well, they don't have like a need pick. They're not Portland, who already had Clyde Drexler, so they're going to take Sam Bowie. They already have a 2-guard. You need a big, so you're going to totally mess it up because you're drafting for need instead of best player available. Like, is there a position that if they felt like the best player was that position that they would pass? You know what I mean? I mean, they could take another point guard.
There are a lot of point guards on the board.
I don't want to see him take a cuff, but you could take another point guard and have him push Keontae.
And Keontae can play at the 2. If Keontae has to move up, he's that might not be the ideal position long term, but no, again,
if it's a big strong wing, you can't have too many of those.
No, of course
so
not.
you're going to take that. If there's a big on the board, and I know there's not really a big in the. We talked about that. The stiff,
not a 5.
Mara or whatever. But, if you take a 5 to push Walker, maybe that gives you a little leverage on him. And then that's bad news for the Bosnian Beak, who probably wouldn't be back at that point. But they wouldn't say no to that player. They wouldn't say no to. They can actually take the best player available.
Absolutely. And if you end up, honestly, the worst fit of the entire draft, especially in the top 8, could be Cam Boozer because he's a 4, and the Jazz have at least 2 4s already on the roster. And
isn't he a 4 though? Like Banchero is a 4.
Yeah, probably a little bit more like that. But he's a 4 in the sense
like that.
That's probably where he's going to start. Like he's probably not quite perimeter oriented enough yet, and he might get there. But like, are you going to complain if you have Paolo Banchero on your team? Or are you like, can't draft him? We've already got Jaren Jackson Jr. So no, to that point again, it's such a weird feeling we have before drafts of I don't want that overlap, and then you watch teams in the playoffs and it's like that's not fair. They have Alex Caruso and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and then coming off the bench is the Lou Dort, or the other way around, Lou Dort starting and coming off the bench is Cason Wallace. It's like no, you can actually just never have too many great players, and yeah, they may not all fit in the starting lineup, so you make it work. And then if they end up being way better, you trade Clyde Drexler and you have Michael Jordan. And that's the sin that the Trailblazers committed.
Yeah, but way back in the day. So, I mean, if you think about it, too, it gives you another, what's the example I'm looking for? Dylan Harper. If Dylan Harper blows up in San Antonio, they're just going to move Adele's favorite, De'Aaron Fox. Mm-hmm. If you draft a wing, A.J. DiBonzo is the obvious, the pipe dream. But then all of a sudden, if he blows up and slides into that wing spot, well, you could be back to trading Larry Markkinen again. Or maybe you like him better than Ace Bailey, and all of a sudden Ace Bailey has a bunch of value where you can flip him for that. I mean, San Antonio, I'm not in love with De'Aaron Fox, but they could get a ton for him this offseason if they decide to move on. So it gives them opportunity, even though it looks like the lineup's pretty crowded, because you go, fifth player. Plus, it gives them time to develop, which, again, Ace Bailey finished the season great. He didn't start the season great. Right. All rookies need time. And Cooper Flagg kind of burst onto the season, but kind of didn't. He took a while to come into his own, too. And he didn't truly start putting up gaudy numbers until Dallas just stopped playing everybody else besides him.
Nobody was mad the Jazz drafted Paul Millsap when they already had Carlos Boozer. That was a pretty good duo. Now, I know Paul Millsap was a second-round draft pick, but he was the best player available, and he stepped in, and he played awesome, and he became every Jazz fan's favorite player. So go find a guy who's going to be really good, backing up your star players already.
They had Trey Burke already, and they drafted Dante Exum.
And neither of those worked out somehow.
Both of them turned out to suck.
Both of them were bad players. That was tough for the Jazz. But yeah, always add talent. No one's going to say no to prime Kevin Love. And if that's who, Cam Boozer turns out to be, great. Prime Kevin Love coming off the bench or playing next to Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to make you a very dangerous team. It's going to make you a very good basketball team. So, good news for the Utah Jazz today to win that coin flip. I didn't think they were going to lose, the spot anyways, but for my own sake, and now Chandler Holt, who's moving into a full-time Utah Jazz insider position here at KSL Sports alongside me, don't have to hear a lot of people saying, well, can't wait till lottery night when Jazz are going to fall to 9th and lose the pick to Oklahoma City. Jazz fans, you can put that to rest. That's not possible.
Telling you, they're getting 7. Mark it down.
That's fine. Probably getting 7.
Mark it down.
7's still the second best pick they've had in the lottery.
We want to say big thanks to everybody who listened during our inaugural show in our noontime slot. We are very excited about it. Very excited to be in the afternoons. Very excited to add to our midday audience and add to what JJ and Alex built in this time slot. So we're super excited about it. We want to thank everybody for listening. We will be back tomorrow on the Jake and Ben Show.
Thanks,
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
Derek Overstreet, founder of the New Millennium Group. We're a financial planning firm. We have advisors standing by right now to take your call. 888-999-6370. The reason you're going to want to call is we're going to help you retire 3 to 5 years before you thought possible. The way we do this is by putting together a step-by-step plan. So if you're one of those people listening and you'd like a plan in writing, give us a call at 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370, or go to utahsfinancialplanner.com.